Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to episode 82 of the X Button Gaming Podcast. For this episode, I got my friend and frequent co-host, James, back here. How you doing, James?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And as always, when I remember to mention it, I'm your host, Chris. And we're here today to talk about some of what we're looking forward to in 2026 as far as playing and collecting goes. But before I get into the topic, before we start talking, a little bit of housekeeping. 2025 was not the best year for this podcast. For me in general, I did not have a great year in 2025. I'm alive, obviously, that's all fine. But, man, I don't even know. I didn't count, but I don't even know if I did an episode a month. I know there was multiple times where I took months off, so I doubt I got 12 episodes out total across the year.
I'm willing to bet you averaged at least one a month, just like when you add them all. I bet you got 12 pods out last year. I'm not going to do it right now, but I bet you did.
Somebody will do the math and let us know in the Discord. But I don't know. I don't know if I did. I really struggled with staying focused. I don't know, thinking of topics, working on topics that I didn't know very well. Yada yada. It was a rough year. That being said, I have, as of recently, changed my medication for my anxiety and my depression. And I have been doing better for the last month or so. I have had 0 seasonal depression, which is pretty huge, and especially for somebody who gets it in Seattle, where it's probably one of the worst areas for it.
Yeah.
So overall, I'm doing better. I'm not here to necessarily talk about that. The point being, though...
That's really good to hear, though, honestly.
Well, thank you. It's good to feel better, too. The point being, I hope to... My plan for 2026 for the podcast is to do better, stay on top of it, and at least do an episode a month with regularity. I will do 2 a month if I can. I think just to help keep pressure off of myself, because I think what I do sometimes is I put too much pressure on that I really need to do this, and instead of making sure I at least get 1 for the month, I just fold under the pressure and do nothing. Mm-hmm. So, which is not constructive.
Yeah.
So my plan is to do at least 1 a month. And I also, on a personal level, I enjoy trying to work on like the YouTube channel and everything. So I'll probably do more content there as well. But I do want to reach out to some people who I have some ideas for certain episodes. I've already done that with a few people. And then also reach out to some more people who haven't been on in a while to see about getting them on again. But yeah, so like I said, just a little housekeeping. Hopefully 2026 is a much better, more regular year where we see growth in the podcast and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah. 2026, though, I mean, what is it, January 8th right now? 9th? 8th.
It's the 8th, yeah.
It's already been a really eventful year, like just like from a world perspective, from a local perspective, from a personal perspective. Stranger Things... U.S. presidents are kidnapping dictators in Venezuela. The Seahawks might make it to the Super Bowl this year. Like, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know much about any of these things. Stranger Things was good. I enjoyed the finale.
I did too. But it's funny that so many people are making up this that there's
the random episode they're just going to drop a week later after the finale.
I don't understand people, man. The internet is really weird. I feel like the algorithm is very strange. I feel like people just react to things in pop culture so differently than they used to.
Yeah, I mean, everybody having a sound box where they can go and yell and see what sticks, eventually it works. And I will say, as far as seasons go, I liked the first half of the season, and then the 2 episodes that came out on Christmas were okay.
Yeah.
I felt like they were... I love dialogue. I've talked about that multiple times, but those episodes were dialogue heavy and annoying. And I'm not even talking like subject matter aside. I'm not talking about what the subject was. It just was like, okay, get to the point. Specifically for me, it was. I mean, I guess this is slightly spoilery, but the scene with
if you guys want don't want to hear spoilers, move forward like 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Probably not even that long. But yes, here's your time. Skip ahead. Okay. The scene with Nancy and Jonathan where they're, it looks like one. obviously, like, you kind of get that feeling like, oh no, one of them's gonna die, like, and that kind of builds suspense.
Yeah.
But the suspense had died before either one of them ever had a chance to, because that scene had so much talking in it. I was just like,
I'm surprised that's the scene you had the problem with the most with.
I was like, shut up. And at
Okay.
this point, who even I mean, like, I don't hate him, but I'm like, who even cares? Nobody cares about Jonathan as a character anymore. Like,
I mean, I'm sure there's many people that would disagree with that, but I know what you're saying.
I would like to meet them. I've never talked to one person who's like, yep, Jonathan Byers.
Yeah, that's my fave character
That
right
guy
there.
is great.
Well, I mean, if you're to believe some of the loud people in the last week, what was it? Robin's girlfriend is apparently the most important character in all Stranger Things, and the fact she didn't get a proper send off was apparently a very egregious mistake.
I hadn't seen that, but she had like 7 lines.
The
whole show.
I know. I don't know who I was talking to at work about, but I was like, is it that big a deal that we don't know what happened to her? Like, it seems like they broke up or something, but like, even if they didn't, does it matter? Like, she wasn't that important.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, this season compared to the other 4 seasons, there were some things like some of the special effects felt too like,
Yeah.
they weren't as good as they had been in other seasons. But what it came down to, me and Jasmine have talked about this.
Yeah.
I felt like it stuck the landing on an emotional level.
I totally agree.
And that's what I care about. Like,
yeah, I feel like I fell on the same side as you did with the volume 2. I was like, it was entertaining. I had fun, needless to say, but like, I was like, it felt like you said, maybe a little long-winded, and like it felt like there were more pressing matters that they were kind of ignoring to, I don't know, air out their feelings, basically.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still thought it was good. But yeah, like I don't know. I feel like that tempered my expectations for the finale, and the finale, from my perspective, was really, really good. Like it hit me real hard right here where it counted.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I was
for
just
sure.
like,
I cried, and I'm an emotional person.
Oh,
so
dude.
Like, but if it for me, it was everything after the end of the big battle. The remaining 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Were.
Yeah.
What really made the ending good?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, absolutely.
it wasn't the action for
Yeah.
me. It was the characters' send-offs, basically.
Yeah. No, I feel like, I mean, it's drawing, understandably, a lot of comparisons to Return of the King, because I feel like they honestly fashioned it after that. Like,
Well, I mean,
half
there was
the movie is in half this episode is the climactic battle and ending good versus evil, and the other half is decompressing and everyone having an emotional goodbye, basically, you know. And it even ended with a door closing on somebody in the end. Like the door closed on Samwise Gamgee. Anyways, I'm a nerd, but it was really good, I thought. And
you're a nerd?
I'm a nerd.
On a nerd podcast?
And dude, I've been listening to like Prince on a loop basically ever since that episode, dude.
Yeah. The Prince songs were good. And I don't know if you heard this, but that's the first time Purple Rain has ever been used in anything other than the movie Purple Rain.
Yeah, I did, which I've never seen, by the way. I kind of want to see. I've heard it's really bad. The music is incredible, but I've always heard the movie is like super bad.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen it either, but apparently he and then his estate wanted that song to specifically be attached to that movie and never it was never used in other media. But
yeah,
I think what I read was because of the influence that like the show has had on other musicians like Kate Bush.
Oh, it makes sense.
They were kind of like,
yeah,
okay, yeah, well, we can use more money.
Yeah, not like Prince needed that much help. Like he's already one of the biggest music icons ever. But like, yeah, like
was
Stranger. Yeah, that's true. Artist formerly known as. Yeah, but yeah, dude, I loved the finale. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I got emotional. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully that was less than 3 minutes, and hopefully people are tuning back in now and knowing we're done talking about Stranger Things.
And that honestly wasn't even that spoilery. Like we didn't even get into the spoilery stuff.
No, not really. But just in case, it's one of those things I can't imagine many people would have waited to watch it. If you care, you watched it.
Yeah.
Like,
and if you don't care, probably viral TikToks and social media videos and clips expose you anyways.
Yeah, it's hard to stay away from this stuff for long. But on that note, let's go ahead and start talking about video games. And we're going to start off by talking about what we've been playing. So let's play that little soundbite.
So what you been playing?
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't blow your eardrums out. But we're going to talk about what we've been playing. So Jimbo, what have you been playing the last, I don't know, just recently, last month or so?
I guess the main thing we should probably discuss is... it's got to be Metroid Prime 4, right? We haven't really talked about it in any detail, right?
No. I mean, I guess last episode was the day it came. We recorded the day it came out.
Did you finish it?
No, I haven't played much after that.
After the first couple hours you played starting it? Okay.
So I really liked that first section, and then when you get to the desert and you get to that factory, and then once you get the bike, I was like, I wasn't against it or anything, but I kind of was like, I've lost like my motivation at this moment. I'm gonna go finish what I've been playing, and I'll come back to it. I still plan on finishing it, but that initial drive to put everything else down and play it first went away.
Well, then I'll be careful about. I mean, I wouldn't have said anything too spoilery tonight, anyways.
I'm
but
not too worried about it.
Like,
for myself.
it's dude. I feel like everyone feels this way about the game, especially Metroid fans. Like super complicated feelings. Like some people really love it, some people really hate it. I think most people tend to agree that it's at least a good game, and then in parts and in stretches, it's actually a really great game. You know, but like in totality, it feels like a really confused. It feels like the story we've been told since the beginning of that we learned about it, right? That it had a really complicated development, and there was a lot of different. People, creative decisions that were obviously very hard to make and complicated, and some that might have been even rushed. And it sounds like they might have had more things they wanted to, I don't know, finish before Nintendo was just like, get it out the door, basically. Because we've spent a lot of time and money on it. I don't know. I read a Famitsu article that came out like where the developers talked about some of the I remember nothing about it because that's my memory, but it sounds like it was really, really complicated, and they had to make decisions they were uncomfortable with, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that they pivoted, you know, when they did with the game. But my general thoughts about the game are that I really enjoyed it, but it's not like on the level of Metroid Prime 1.
Yeah, and that's kind of even as far as I got to in the game. Like I said, I'm gonna play it, and I'll probably enjoy it. I'm not like, by me saying like I stepped aside from it, it wasn't because I'm like mad or anything. Like I got to the point where you get what's his face, the companion dude that everybody was up in arms about, and like I mean, yeah, he's a little annoying, but it didn't bother me. I just once I got to that point where you're exploring the factory, I was like, this doesn't feel like Metroid at Prime at the moment, and I was just like, this, I need to just come back to it.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like I said, I wasn't even mad. I was just like, I'm not really feeling this right now. The grab when Metroid Prime Remastered came out, a game I'd already played, I don't know, 15 years prior.
Yeah,
I played it and it pulled me right back in, and I didn't sit there and play it, but it was the game I went back to until I finished it.
Yeah,
and sometimes that's what I look for, depending on my not my mental state, but just where I'm at. Like sometimes things can't keep my attention right, and if they're not keeping it, like I just won't do anything with my free time.
Oh, sure.
And it wasn't keeping my attention very well, so I was like, I'll come back to it when I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I feel like that area you're talking about, the Volt Forge area, like, I feel like people are very conflicted on it. It's like it's a very people loved it or hated it kind of situation, and I feel like once you get to Volt Forge, you start realizing the game is a little different, in my opinion, to other Metroid Prime games, in that you get interrupted a lot more by like enemies, you know, like the room, the door on the other end of the room you're in shuts, and you got to beat these mechanical baddies before the door opens, and it seems to happen a lot more often. And your like exploration in Metroid Prime 4 gets interrupted a lot more by battles than even in Metroid Prime 1, almost by a long shot, I would say.
Yeah.
It feels less exploratory and more like
a little more action-oriented.
Yeah, which is, I mean, the action is good. I feel like, you know, it controls really well. Like the game is beautiful. Like it's
visually it was really great.
It's freaking great.
And the sound, the music and the sound effects, everything were really good.
Oh yeah.
I will say this. I don't have a Pro Controller yet for my Switch 2. Like, I probably could use a Pro Controller 1, but I had been playing it with just the Joy-Cons, and it was fine. But I think part of what I was missing, because even with Prime 1 Remaster, I played the whole thing with the Pro Controller on the TV, and I think I might need to change how I play it. Like, I think I do need to have a Pro Controller and actually sit with it docked. Because I was playing it in, like, on tabletop mode, basically, with just the Joy-Cons.
Oh, yeah.
And even when I was playing it like that, it felt...
Yeah.
Some games that works for, and it felt like it wasn't right. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain that.
I think I know what you're saying. I feel like with twin stick shooter, I don't know, for FPS style games, you want better analog sticks, and you want a little bit more of a feeling of control over
I want some girth
the
in
movement.
My hands.
That you want that too. But I know what you're saying. The game, dude. I think that my favorite thing about this game is the bosses. They're so good. Like I can't think of one I didn't really like. yeah, they were very engaging. They were more difficult. They felt like more of a test of an endurance and your skill, I feel like, than like prior Metroid Prime game bosses. But yeah, yeah. So I generally liked the game a lot more than I had problems with it. And like the thing that people were most concerned with after that first trailer, the companions, like I would go as far as saying that I actually kind of liked some of them towards the end. And I feel like they, in my opinion, they justify their being there in the game. And you'll see what I mean by the time the game ends. But I feel like they were not a bad addition, honestly. Yeah. I think the thing that was bad was that you get interrupted a lot by maybe one too many battles. There's no fast travel, so you're just, you're
going back and forth.
Yeah, you're backtracking a lot between like the middle section, the Hyrule field, for lack of better words, and the 4 different zones, like, and it's not interconnected like your standard Metroidvania, which is I don't know how disappointing it is, but it's just not very conventional for a Metroid game. But I will say, when it feels like Metroid Prime 1, it really does, and it feels really good. But yeah, bosses, beautiful, music is great. The story is interesting, and like I said, the companions actually kind of like their presence by the end of the game to some degree. Man, I feel like too the morph ball, every little section where you're solving puzzles and doing something in morph ball form, it still feels as good as it ever has. I almost wonder if there should be a puzzle game like a Metroid puzzle, not Metroid Pinball, which also I'd love a sequel to, but like a Metroid puzzle game played from that perspective, just morph ball mode, because it feels so good. And there's lots of, I can just imagine, like you know how they made like Toad Tracker because Captain Toad was like a little section of like
parts were fun and unique.
Yeah, like what if they did that but for Metroid Prime, like a Metroid Morph Ball puzzle adventure or something, because that stuff's really good.
I would enjoy that in theory. They do have a problem with like Metroid Federation Force. It was okay for what it was.
Yeah.
But when they put the Metroid name on it and they remove it too far from the source material, sometimes they make it dumb.
Yeah.
But I think something like that would be fun. I'd like them to just make more things within the Metroid universe.
Yeah.
In general. Question for you though.
Sure.
I was thinking about this.
Hit me up.
Did you play and finish Prime 2 and 3?
I played 2. And my memory is so bad, but I'm pretty sure I finished 2. I know I started 3, but I don't think I ever finished 3.
That's what I kind of wonder, if maybe those games, because we can. I personally can only really compare to Metroid Prime 1.
Yeah.
Because I've always said, like, I love the 2D Metroids. Like that's where I personally have always been drawn to. But I loved Metroid Prime. But I don't know if I even played 2, and I never played 3. So part of me wonders, I feel like most people fall into that camp. Like, I don't know many people
I think you're probably right.
who played 2, but they may have played 2, but they didn't play 3. So I do wonder if maybe you played all 3 of them and then 4, if maybe there was a little more cohesion in like the change of the gameplay.
I have heard that
it's also been 15 years.
Yeah, so. I know I haven't put a lot of time into 3. I've definitely played enough of 2 to know what it was like, and I really liked 2, honestly. But that's what I have heard, that if you played 3, it's the most similar to 3. I don't know exactly for what reason. I have no problem with them wanting to change the series and try new things, and they clearly did that here. It feels like they tried lots of new things. The perspective is different. Like I said, the map is laid out different. It just feels like a different kind of Metroid Prime with lots of Metroid Prime's things.
Yeah.
But I feel like they have a really, really good foundation, and for, a potential 5th entry, and I really hope they do it, because I feel like they got the chops. They know how to make a game like this. I just feel like, I don't know, maybe it all has to come together a little bit more. Maybe it has to be the same team. Maybe it has to just be Retro from the beginning, with a solid vision that they're all united on from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want this team to make another Metroid Prime game. I really hope they do, and don't just go straight to like another like Donkey Kong or something. We're gonna get a 2D Donkey Kong anyways from somebody, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's them, but
I guess Retro did do. I was like, that's random.
Yeah.
Duh. They made the Donkey Kong.
But yeah, I really hope they are gonna make another Metroid Prime 5, and I hope they're proud. I honestly feel like they should be proud of the good that came from this game, because the stuff that's good is really good, honestly.
Yeah. So
that's my general impression of this game. Like, I would have given it, if I was like a critic or rating it, I would have given it like a somewhere in the 8 to 9 range. Probably not 9, 8 or 8.5 maybe.
Yeah.
Like
I
did really enjoy it, and I really like games that don't overstay their welcome more than ever. This game is not overly long, and there is a lot of, to be fair, there is a lot of fluff with the whole desert, the Soul Valley desert area in the middle. Like it probably turned what would have been like a 7-hour game into like a 12-hour, 15-hour game or something. But I'm not angry about that. Like
it's still not that long. Like,
no, it's not that long
compared to most games nowadays. That's pretty short.
If you have fun, a good solid 10-ish hours is like perfect length of game to me. Honestly, you know, I'm not hoping for a JRPG here. You know.
Yeah. I will say this too, like we kind of talked about it a little bit, but I feel like when it comes to Metroid, as long as they keep a few things consistent throughout whatever they do with the series, and that being the music, the ambiance, and like the horror aspect of it, because I think even going back to Metroid 1, like on the NES, there's always been like a slight horror. It's not horror in the traditional sense, but like sci-fi scary, like alien type, fear factor to it. It doesn't have to be throughout, but as long as you have those elements through a Metroid game, I think it'll always be good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And from everything I've heard, Prime 4 still has all that stuff.
I think so.
At its best moments. It just has some, like you said, some fluff and some other things that maybe needs to work out. But I'll be playing it within the next month probably.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's absolutely worth a play. And I've heard that it even runs pretty good on Switch 1, though I haven't seen that myself. So
you haven't heard many people talk about that, but
yeah. I liked it.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. I'll report back once I finish it.
Yeah, let me know.
Have you been playing anything else?
I've been playing this for a long time, but I'm still finishing up Expedition 33, though I'm getting a lot closer now. I'm taking my sweet time with it because I'm just liking it so much. I've been playing a lot of Legends EA, but I've talked about that in detail on this podcast before. I came back to it because it's just so fun, and I'm trying to get my decks kind of filled out before. You know how lately they've had like Pokemon home challenges in the last like 3 or 4 Pokemon entries where if you get the regional decks and you catch that entire regional dex and you migrate that entire regional dex that you catch, for example, in like BDSP, and you move it to Pokemon Home, they give you like an event Pokemon, whether it's a shiny or a legend or both. So I have been consciously thinking about that when new Pokemon games come out, to catch the entire regional dex, like every single mon from, stage 1 to 3, a separate entry, so that it's easy to just migrate into Pokemon Home and get your entries. That's kind of what I'm doing right now, is filling out the regional decks. I haven't played the DLC, but I really like Legends EA too.
Yeah, I still need to play that too. I truly haven't put much time into my Switch too. I need to finish Donkey Kong and then play ZA and play Metroid, but I'll probably play Metroid first.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, you already started it, so that makes sense. You'll like ZA though, I know you will. It's a good time.
Yeah. Well, as for me, I've only really been playing a couple things. Like I said, I started Metroid, but then once it wasn't like making me want to come back to it right away, I was like, okay, I need to focus and finish Ghost of Yotei, because I'd started that and I let myself get distracted by Metroid Prime 4. So I went back to Ghost of Yotei, and I think I've talked about it before, but I was a huge fan of Ghost of Tsushima. That was a sleeper hit for me because it kind of went under the radar for me personally when it came out. It came out in the summer of 2019, I think, or 2020. I think that's right. And I heard about it, but I wasn't paying much attention. I ended up playing it early the next year, and I fell in love with that game. And I've talked about it before. I think it's one of the most beautiful games as far as both visually, music, and the story too is absolutely captivating. Ghost of Yotei, it took me a little. I was grabbed quickly by Tsushima. Yotei took a little bit longer. The main character, Atsu, is not initially as, I don't want to say likable, because that's not necessarily true, but I guess I didn't necessarily vibe with her as much right away as I did with Jin from Tsushima. But once I kind of got started and got going into the game more, she has grown on me a lot. She's a really good character. But I'd say, okay, so down to basics, Yotei has been out. It came out now almost 5 years after, or just about exactly 5 years after Tsushima. So what do you expect with a sequel-ish? It's not a sequel, but a pseudo-sequel to a game. Better, updates to gameplay, updates to visuals, to take what they did and just improve upon it, generally speaking. And I do feel like they did that in just about every way. Because in Tsushima, you had different sword forms, which was cool. But in Yote, you have different weapons that you use. So you don't just have a katana. You have dual katanas. I don't remember what it's called, but like a spear. And you have a couple other different types of weapons that you can pivot between to fight your enemies. So it gives... You had to use the forms in Tsushima, but in this, you switch between the weapons, and it just gives a lot of versatility to the battle. And I find them more fun to use than I did the forms in Tsushima. And the support items and like your smoke grenades and your kunai and everything, like they really play well into the overall gameplay. Game looks beautiful. Like I said, it's definitely an upgrade gameplay-wise. 5 years later, they've really done a lot to upgrade that. I think at the end of the day, I haven't finished it yet, but I'm extremely close. I'm probably 90% of the way through the game. Atsu's story has grown, and her journey has continued to, like, I'm appreciating it more and more, but I think hers is more of a story of revenge, whereas Jin Sakai's was more of a story of confliction, and that, whether it be sticking with what he's always known or doing what he feels is right. And that story was, I think that's part of what really resonated with me, is because that could be, that is not something you see. That's not a story you hear very often, where he had to figure out how to merge two worlds, where he didn't want to necessarily forgo being a samurai. He respected his culture. He respected how he was raised, but he didn't necessarily feel like the unjust things that they were sitting by and letting happen were fair either. So his story and his journey was just I absolutely loved, and I thought it was well done. And once again, the ending of that game was one of the best in any game ever that I've played. I really, really loved the ending. So Yote has a chance to stick the landing and maybe make me feel a little differently, but I'm not comparing them necessarily side by side and saying that it had to be just as good. But I'm enjoying it.
That's cool.
Definitely a great game. I feel like it's just as much as Tsushima is a must-play on the PS4. This is a must-play on the PS5.
Nice. His dilemma, what was the main character's name again?
In Tsushima? Jin?
Or in Yote? Are they the same character?
No. This is years apart, and in Tsushima, Jin Sakai is a man and Atsu is a female.
Oh, I see. I was going to say, just the dilemma of trying to decide whether you want to pursue a path or not sounded a lot to me like Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2. And he's like, do I really want to do this? Like, I understand it's the right thing to do. I know I can help people, but do I want to? Is it good for me?
I guess, but it's more he wants to do what's good and is trying to decide if he should stand back more or do more.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But yeah, there's similarities there. But yeah, both fantastic games. And the only other game I've been playing much lately is Arc Raiders.
Oh, yeah. I've heard a lot about this.
Yeah, in which, it's kind of the multiplayer game of the moment.
Yeah.
They come and go, and Arc Raiders is a mixed bag, man. I'll say this. When I like this game, I really like this game.
Okay.
So, for those that don't know, I'll try to give a little rundown of what Arc Raiders is. You can play this game in solo or in 2-player or 3-player, in groups of 2 or 3, I should say. And you are a raider. So you live in an underground area, and you go to the surface specifically to raid. The world has been overtaken by a robot army. There is a story here. Nobody cares. It's not great. There's not much depth to it.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some people care, but it's not told well. It's kind of just...
Okay.
It's an afterthought. But anyway, you go to the surface to raid, and, these robots and whatever, they're called Arc, will attack you. And they're the main enemy. But when you go up to the surface, there's other raiders up there also raiding.
Yes.
And that's where this game can get both very fun and very frustrating.
Okay.
Because this is a PvE game, so player versus enemy, with PvP elements. You can choose to shoot or not shoot any raider you see on site.
Friendly fire is turned on.
Yeah, it's on. You can't change that. You can't shoot each other, but any other person, you can't shoot your teammates, but any other person on the map is fair game.
Okay, so you can't betray your own teammates then. That's a good thing.
But any other raider you see on the map.
That'd be especially toxic.
So this game is frustrating because I genuinely want to be good. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But the amount of times I'll use voice chat and say hey, Like, I don't need to fight if you don't. And sometimes people will be like, they'll use the in-game things. They're like, yeah, I don't need to fight. And sometimes people are cool. Sometimes you then think you part your separate ways, and they sneak up on you and shoot you in the back with a shotgun. And then you want to say all kinds of inappropriate things into the mic because you're like, why did I trust this bleepity bleep? And this game works so hard to make me not want to be a better person. I want so badly to give people the benefit of the doubt.
To believe in people?
But they over and over and over again, they prove to me that people are inherently evil. Like, it's so frustrating. We'll help people with a fight, like we'll try to help people take down like one of the big arc. And we'll even say like, hey, we got you. We'll help them take it down. Like, you can raid it. Like, we don't need it. We're just trying to help. They'll turn and shoot at us.
While the Ark's fighting you?
Well, people have turned and shoot at. I'm like, you guys are idiots. The thing that's nice is what feels good is when people are and they turn on you
and then they die
and then you kill them.
Yeah, of course.
Because then you can only imagine the trash talk. Because I love to be like, it didn't have to come to this.
Yeah.
We told you we didn't want this, but you chose violence, and now look. All of your stuff is ours, and that feels good. But God, is it so frustrating when you want to believe that people don't have to suck. But then there are times we had a match, for example, where we helped another team. We said in chat like, hey, they were struggling. 2 of them were down. You can revive other raiders, and we said like, hey, we'll help you guys out. So me and I was playing with Connor and Kel. Me and Connor started shooting at the Ark. Kel went in and revived them. We took it out and said, all right, finish raiding, have fun. We took off. We went to a spot where we were looking to raid specifically, and another team came up and like didn't even give it. They just started shooting us. And we immediately started yelling in the mic like, help, 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 because other people from a distance can hear. It's proximity chat. That other team that we had helped came in and took that team out and revived. At that point, me and Connor had been finished, but they revived Kel, and they were able to stick together, finish the level out, and he got out with stuff. And so that was a moment where it was like, you see some people can be good and be nice. We've had other interactions where somebody was on chat and they were like, hey, we're not looking for a fight. We're just goofing around. And you want to hear a song? And like, there's some good interactions. People aren't all bad.
Yeah.
But when it's match after match, if you trying really hard to give people the benefit of the doubt, let people walk away when you could have easily taken them out, and you say, like, hey man, you're good, just go on. And then they come back with their teammates and just destroy you because they're a bunch of jerks. Oh man, it gets so frustrating. It gets so
all right. Well, let me ask you a question. Be 100% honest with me. Have you ever stabbed somebody in the back, so to speak, in this game?
I have not.
I have not. Okay, so you have a moral high ground you can stand on in the case of this game. You can say, I have not done something evil.
I have at no point when somebody has said in agreeance like, we're good, we don't need to fight.
Yeah.
I have at no point then shot or turned on them.
Yeah.
And I'm guaranteed Connor and Kel would back me up because I'm the most vocal that I don't want to do that.
Have Kel and Connor done anything scummy?
Kel hasn't. I'm not 100% sure Connor hasn't, but I think he usually listens. But he's the closest to having a happy trigger finger when it comes to turning on people.
And hey, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. As somebody who I really like the concept of this game. One of the appeals to me would be like being like a dark Jedi or a Sith, maybe.
That's
in this
not a dark
case.
Jedi. It's just a Sith.
I like the idea of going with my friends and going on a mission, and then these chumps come and walk by like, you want some help? Oh yeah, I'll help you. Bang! You're gone. You're mine.
Well, James, I would hate playing with you.
To be fair, I think I'd like to be good too. I feel like I'd want different playthroughs, if that makes any sense. I feel like every game you play would be a different opportunity to be a different person.
Sure. And there are different maps that are known for being more aggressive than others. So, like there's one, it's called Stella Montis, and you go to Stella Montis, you pretty much know shoot first. Like, no, people go to that map with the idea of PvP. Like, so if you really want that, a PvP challenge, you go there because you don't really get judged as much for shooting first. Other maps, it's not so much, but
this game reminds me of, do you remember RuneScape?
Yeah, I remember RuneScape. Everybody remembers RuneScape.
Everyone remembers RuneScape. I just remember, you actually could lure a friend into the wilderness in an area where PvP was optional, and you could just take their stuff if they didn't know what was going on. And I remember doing that to one of my friends. Do I feel bad about it in hindsight? No, because I remember what that friend was like. It depends on the person, but
you probably deserved it.
he probably deserved it. But
I do think you would like Arc Raiders.
I do. Yeah, I think.
I'd be curious if anybody listening that I don't know plays this game.
Jordan texted me a couple days ago asking if I'd played it yet. I was like, no, but I've been thinking about it. I've wanted to play it, so there's something there.
Well, let me know. I would play with you guys on occasion.
Is it free to play? Free to play?
No, you have to. You pay. It's $40.
Oh, that's fine.
And then it's you don't have to keep paying after
that. Seems like the sweet spot for big like viral multiplayer games right now. Is
people
$40.
Are willing to spend that $40.
$40 is the sweet spot.
And I said, I like the game. The rating aspect of it, like the gameplay loop is fun. Like I like the idea. You go to the surface. You have a goal. You try to avoid the jerks, or you go with the idea of you just take out the jerks as you see, or the potential jerks, they might not be, but I like the loop. It's fun because the loot that you're rating for is random.
Yeah.
So, some things have a higher potential to loot in certain areas, but it's fun. I enjoy it. I've never played a game like this before. Like I know Rust is probably one of the more popular ones.
Yeah.
And I've never played that.
Because this genre would be what, tactical.
I don't
know if it's tactical.
Let's look it up because I'm not actually sure.
I've heard it called extraction shooter, which that sounds right to me. Like you're going up, you're extracting resources as you can, and then you're going back.
Yep. Third person PvP VE extraction shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to get out. If you don't get out, you lose your crap.
Yeah.
So that's what hurts.
Oh
the
yeah.
most.
Like how long are matches?
30 minutes. But you don't always load in. So you can leave anyway at any point. There's extraction points you can go to.
Okay.
5 minutes in, 2 minutes in, or 30 minutes in.
Yeah.
But if you're not out by the time that 30 minutes is up, the area gets nuked and you die.
Nice.
But sometimes what sucks is you load into a match at the 20 that's already 10 minutes in, everything's looted, so you're like, well dang, like what's the point of this? So you just like go and leave, and like sometimes
do you have like a loadout a la like Fortnite or some like first person shooters?
You make your loadout. There's different weapons, different
so
like,
then
healing items, different all kinds of stuff.
In that situation you're talking about where you maybe hop into the match a little bit late, lots of stuff has already been looted, at that point do you start going for people because you're like, you have some of the stuff I want, or do you just say
that's what most people think? I think somebody that comes into that match 10 minutes late is probably thinking,
I'm coming to get you
because
yeah.
So that's where like the risk and reward can come if you want to be that kind of person, because you can go in with low tier loot or the top tier loot, and obviously if you go with the best stuff, you're more likely to beat a lot of people. But if you lose a fight, you just lost all that stuff.
Is there a level system? Like you go in at like you can start at level 50, other people can start at like level 80, anything like that, like MMO type leveling, or is it?
You do level up and you have basic perk tree, but that perk tree doesn't affect too much.
Okay.
It's the weapons. I mean, it does affect like your stamina, like so a bunch of smaller things that do have an overall effect on the game, but they don't affect how well you will do in most like PvP situations. That is really determined on how your loadout is when you get to that situation.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm really into the idea of this game. I think I'd have fun with it. I'll try it for sure.
I can only imagine you and Jordan with the proximity chat.
Oh, man. There'd be people feeling very violent feelings at the other end of the mic.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure.
But you're on our team, so it'd be fine.
I think you probably still make me mad.
This isn't like Phantasy Star Online. You've made it very clear that because we're on the same team, I can't Michael Jackson you. So wait a second. I can't take the loot.
You can still be annoying. You can still
take
steal
the loot.
Loot.
I can take the loot.
You can extract without us. You can do all kinds of things to still be an absolute obnoxious douchebag.
Wait a second. What you're telling me is the return of Michael Jackson is imminent.
Nobody understands that, and I do not feel like explaining that reference. But I'm sure they don't think highly of you because of it.
Don't worry about it. Just know that
if you ever thought that James might be annoying to play video games with, the answer is a very strong, definitive yes. Not always.
That's why.
But when it's a loot-based game, definitely.
It's why I lean into competitive games more than team-up games. Although I really did like, what's it called? Not Hellbreakers.
Helldivers.
Helldivers. Yeah, there we go.
Hellbreakers. We're breaking hell.
Yeah.
I think you'd like it. It's like I said, It's one of those games, like, I feel like a lot of people would like. I like the fact that it's not PvP. Like, I don't necessarily want just another.
But there's a PvP element, so you can
definitely a PvP element.
You can obviously scratch that itch, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. A lot of times when people are complete douches, I'm just like, wow, you must have been real good at Fortnite. So frustrating.
So, do you think it'd be better to learn? Is it easier to learn this game playing like solo, or do you think like teaming up is easier to learn?
It's probably easier to learn it when you are playing with people that know what they're doing. If you're willing to listen.
Yeah.
If you're not, then play it solo and then come.
Yeah,
and
that
play.
makes sense. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna pick this up.
Yeah, it's fun. It's cross-platform too. So
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I look forward to never playing with you when you're never online.
You might be surprised.
When we text James and he says, "Oh yeah, I'll hop on," like maybe around 11. Crickets.
Yeah, that's like the only time that I can. Reliably is a very strong way to put it, but it's the only time you can reliably hope that I'm going to be online.
We're on at 11.
Okay.
James ain't there.
And obviously, I'm assuming this is cross-platform. Series X.
I said that. Yeah, it's cross-platform.
Okay, good. Because I will get it on the Series X.
All right. Anything else you've been playing?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, before we get into the main topic that I'm looking forward to talking about, thought I'd just ask, do you have any game playing goals for 2025? Because the main topic is kind of collecting focused.
Sure. I mean, new year. What's my video game resolutions? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Exactly.
Mostly RPGs. Like I said, I've leaned heavily into them, but I feel like those are the games that I'm most drawn to now. They're the ones I want to play and finish the most, which is really ironic because it did not used to be the case. But I should have said this in my playing section. I played Final Fantasy VII Intergrade, remake Intergrade.
Oh, the demo.
The demo,
Yeah.
and it's chapter 1. It's not like that long. It's probably like
it goes to the end of
like an hour or 2 hours maybe
of
at
the
the
first
most.
reactor fight.
I loved it, dude. I thought it was really fun. Like it sold me on the game. I was like, oh, this is really fun. Like it to me. I was talking with Gary about this the other day. It's been like a good 2 weeks since I played it, so my thoughts aren't as fresh. But to me, I liked the kind of live action, like the action RPG element to it, as opposed to the turn-based in the original. Yeah, which I've really only started Final Fantasy VII a number of times.
That's the thing. That's when I tell anybody, like, if somebody was to ask me, should I play remake or OG? Honestly, at this point, probably just play remake. And if you really like it, I still suggest you play OG at some point. Yeah, but it's hard to say not to play. It does everything. It's just like a much better looking version of 7 with its own unique take on the story. So yeah, it's the way to play it.
Yeah, it sold me on the game big time. Definitely going to get the game which should be coming out like any second. Yes, any second.
Did you pre-order it so you can get that booster pack?
No, but I should. I don't know.
You get a booster pack.
I know that I'm getting the game. I should just pre-order it. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'm going to get the game, so I'm going to play through that. I'm planning, like, I think I already said this before, but like my current Xenoblade journey is try to finish a game once a year, because those games are so meaty and they involve so much. They involve like a respectable amount of learning, as we've discussed before. So my plan is to play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 this year, and then X the following year. Honestly, by next year, I think there's a very real chance that a new Xenoblade game or something new by Monolith will be released or announced at least by then, because they're such a big part of like Nintendo's plan now,
100%. Well, luckily, remake plus the integrated expansion, it's probably only like 40 to 60 hours max, depending on how you play. Yeah. So it's not as much of a time sink as a Xenoblade.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel like it's going to feel like a grind or anything because of the style of battle.
I don't think it's a grind.
I really liked it. It felt it reminded me a little bit of Xenoblade and how you switch back and forth between characters if you want to.
And they all have their different, like, their rock paper scissors kind of style where they're better against certain enemies than others, and
like timing certain, I can't remember what they were called anymore, but the skills and the abilities and then the limit breaks and stuff. Like it was just I thought it was a lot of fun, and it looked really good too.
I'm glad to hear that.
I still have to decide whether I'm going to listen to it in English or Japanese though. That's something I still have to decide on.
English.
Okay.
I know you. I mean, you do speak Japanese.
Not really, but yeah.
And you're learning it, but I feel like the English voice cast for this game should be appreciated.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good. Yeah. Okay. What else? What are my other? Basically, I want to get at least those 2 RPGs done before Gen 10 Pokemon comes out because that's a lock. We both are very convinced that's coming this year.
Yeah, it sounds like I'd be surprised if it didn't come this year.
I'll feel pretty accomplished if I can get those 3 RPGs done this year, like 7, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and then
It doesn't matter what happens. Pokemon will get done this year from you.
It's gonna take priority. It's gonna take priority as soon as it comes out. So yeah, I need to get those 2 games done before then. Other than that, just keep dabbling with stuff, trying new games. I have wanted to dabble and get like involved in a multiplayer game. So Arc Reactor makes a lot of sense for that.
Raiders.
Or what did I say?
Arc Reactor.
That's an Iron Man concept. Tony Stark, you are a brilliant man. You're
so smart.
Tony Stark made this with a box of Legos in a cave, or what did Obadiah Stane say?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie was so good.
Oh, it's still like one of the peak comic book movies. I don't know. What are some of your 2026 video game goals?
So I have a small like roadmap that I like laid out for myself of some of the games I want to play, which is finish Yote, finish Prime 4.
Oh yeah,
and start Clair Obscur.
Oh yeah. Definitely get that.
After I finish Clair Obscur, my next game on my list is Indiana Jones.
Yes,
I have it ready to play after that. So
I
shouldn't because you don't ever play anything that I recommend.
Hey, I'm about to.
But Jaden also speaks highly about it. So Jaden won.
Yeah, well, yeah. Jaden's opinion does matter, probably more than mine.
And so did Joel. I think everybody I've heard talk about this game really liked it. So
yeah,
it does make a difference.
If I'm being completely honest, I finished and played most of that game this year, and I've also played a lot of Clair Obscur. I honestly think if I had to pick my game of the year, it would probably be Indiana Jones.
To be fair, you played Indiana Jones over the course of a couple of weeks and Clair Obscur over the course of 6 months.
But to be fair, like every time I picked up Clair Obscur, I love it so much. Okay, I don't know. Like I think you know when you know, right? Like if you're. Indiana Jones consumed me for like a whole week. It consumed me
in a different way.
Like I called in sick when I wasn't sick to keep playing the game.
You hear that, Hannah?
I did not do that for Clair Obscur.
He just sold himself.
That said, they're both excellent games.
No, I hear you. I do. I look forward to playing both, and maybe by the time I finish them, I can give my opinion on that. But I'll also be honest. I've always said Indiana Jones. I like the movies just fine. I've never been into them though. Like I've never been like, yeah, Indiana Jones. Like, I didn't really grow up on them as much as you guys did and a lot of other people. I did watch them, but I enjoy them. But
I think you're going in with the right like expectations. I think you're going. I can't wait to hear what you say.
I will say, from what I've heard, Troy Baker does a fantastic job.
Absolutely.
Of sounding like Harrison Ford.
Absolutely,
so that's impressive.
Absolutely, and again, a game that doesn't overstay its welcome. Like you want to get a really good game done in like 15 hours. That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer depending on how completionist you are. Well, you're gonna be getting trophies probably, so
I'll probably do everything.
And it's honestly a pretty good trophy game in my opinion because I've done all of the achievements except one, which we talked about before. So
yeah. So that's kind of like my immediate roadmap. Those 3 games after Yote. But there is a couple games I really want to get to this year, and that is series that I want to get to. I want to play the first game in the Trials of Cold Steel series. I have it on my Vita, and that series is one that I always hear is just fantastic JRPG, and I really have wanted to play one for a long time. So that's what I plan on playing on my Vita soon. And the next is I've wanted to get into the Yakuza games for a long time, and I keep putting it off. And I have over time bought most of them, so I have access to them. I just need to play one or start, and I think I want to try to do that this year.
Yeah.
To finally say I've played it and see and then if I like it, I have so much more to go into.
Yeah.
But I really want to get to those series, and then also too, like I did recently. Completely changed the layout of my room, and I set it up so that things are easier to access. So like my CRT had consoles hooked up to it before, but it was a pain in the butt to switch things around to play the right. If I wanted to play 64 or Saturn or whatever, I got a switcher. I hooked it all up. It's all ready to go. I bought 8-bit controllers for everything hooked up to that TV so that I can have wireless access. Because sometimes when I'm not when I want to play one, but I'm like, I don't want to get the controller out and have the cord, and then I have to put it away. It just made it all easier. So I do want to get to some of my retro games that I obviously collect, and I do want to play a lot of them.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my my analog pocket right now. Like Emerald's sitting in there, and I was taking steps to complete my ribbon journey, and I'm like, it sits there right next to my bedstand, and I'll take it out of its case every once in a while to check what the battery is, and it's still like 45%, and I haven't turned it on in like 2 years. It's so crazy.
I don't know how batteries work and stuff like that, but I went at least 6 months without playing my analog pocket. I was like, I want to play something, and I pulled it out. I was like, it's probably gonna be dead though. And I was like, this thing's at 50%.
It's crazy, dude.
And I don't remember the last time I charged it, let alone like
I don't even know where my charger is. I gotta find it.
That's funny.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, that thing is mad crazy. But I also got analog 3D. I got
Oh,
the fantastic
dude,
colors.
I am so jealous. I literally overslept it. I should have put a reminder or set an alarm. Completely intended on waking up to get like a red one, and too late.
Yeah, and it's too bad if you would even woke up a little late. It was one of the last colors.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
You could have possibly got one, but
gosh dang it.
I set an alarm because I was like, I want to get one. I keep my 64 hooked up, but I like the idea of having this, and also like it opens up. Not that I'll play a lot, but it does open up the option of international or whatever type.
You can still order the standard color through the analog website, but like I'm so dumb, and I'm like if I'm like hopelessly waiting for some other limited edition version of it that would make me more likely to buy it, even though I could get the standard one. But
it might do something. They like to do. Maybe they'll do a glow in the dark or a steel one like they did with.
I would do that. Oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah, and honestly, I bet they will. I think they will.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't be too surprised.
That's what I'm gonna hope for. I feel like that's what it's gonna take to get me to bite on this, because I'm not as attached, frankly, to the 64 like I am the Super Nintendo. For me, the Super NT was auto buy. There was never a question, you know.
I actually like recently, me and my friend Caleb were talking about that. Like, I kind of wish I would have bought one, because if I had one and was hooked up, ready to play. My Super Nintendo, my childhood Super Nintendo, does not work. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
I still have it, but it doesn't work. So I don't have a working Super Nintendo. So it would have been nice to have one of those, and I could have had it hooked up and ready to use.
Yeah.
And in theory, like, there's probably a lot more that I want to play on Super Nintendo than on 64 that I both have and haven't played. But man, my nostalgia for the 64 is probably like unmatched. Like,
that makes sense.
When it comes to pure nostalgia,
honestly,
like I think my nostalgia is highest for 64 than anything.
I don't blame you. I definitely have a fair amount of that too for the 64, but for some reason, like in my heart, SNES comes first.
The heart analog. Go for the heart.
So many Spider-Man references, Marvel references, really.
Yeah. You think we were real Marvel?
Oh, did you see the teaser? Did you see the X-Men teaser?
I didn't actually.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I saw the Captain America one.
What?
But I should watch it.
You should watch it live right now on the podcast.
X-Men is my jam. Like, Marvel was. Like, I got into the Marvel movies, but I didn't really know much about any Marvel superheroes.
No.
But I've always liked X-Men, since I was a wee lad.
Oh, for sure.
So X-Men on Sega Genesis, man, that game got me into, like, I started watching the cartoon.
Oh, the cartoon was so good.
Yeah, I love X-Men, but...
Yeah, check out the teaser. We'll watch it after this together.
Okay. Well, if we remember.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it for my quote-unquote playing roadmap. But as far as collecting goes... we have, I think we have a fun subject, or fun topic here for you. I felt like it was a good time to use this sound bit, which we haven't used in a while.
I've got my eye
on you. Beautiful.
Never gets old. Sometimes Jasmine just sings that. And I'm like,
it's iconic.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, this is kind of an elaborated, an expanded, I've got my eye on you segment.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
What this idea came from me when I was sitting one day and I was thinking about games that I didn't have in my collection, that I felt like were staples, like things that I really like. It didn't make sense that I didn't have it for one reason or another. And then I was like, because I listen to a lot of other podcasts and YouTubers who are both gamers and not just gamers but also collectors and vice versa.
Sure.
But a lot of collectors will talk about like those set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Like a common one for a lot of collectors is like Super Mario Brothers on
Sure.
the NES.
Yeah.
Which, would I love to have it? Sure, but it's not high on my needs list. It's
Same.
much lower than a lot of other games. But that got me thinking about some of those games that I'm like, what are the shelf pieces that like it doesn't make sense that I don't have?
Yeah.
Whether it is a game that I would take out of the box and play it, or I just want to have it because of the importance of the series to me.
Yep.
And that's where this idea came from. It started off as like, well, like maybe to start the year off, we'll talk about like those collecting sins, those things that we don't have on our shelf that we want to have. But then I evolved the idea as I was thinking about it. Mm-hmm. And this is also how you can tell that my brain's doing a little better right now, because I haven't been I haven't thought much about this kind of stuff when it came to the podcast.
Chris has got ideas.
They're rumbling up here.
The wheels are turning.
And that can be scary. So it became, I was like, okay, so I'll have James on. And then it turned into, well, it would be fun to like turn this into a competition. So like to make rules, to make like a set parameter of like games that we feel like we should have in our collection, and then figure out a way to make this where somebody has the potential to lose at the end of the year, and there be a punishment of sorts.
Yes.
Like who doesn't love obviously fantasy football? It's all about the winner getting some kind of trophy and prize, the loser paying some kind of punishment. That varies drastically between the darkness of the leaders of that
Absolutely.
of their group. Which I did give the Discord a chance to
Yes.
pick some punishments, and they came up with a few things. They were surprisingly tame. I kind of thought
They're going to be really
if it
bad.
went pretty crazy, I was ready to say like, okay, we're not jumping out of an airplane or something like that. But they stayed pretty tame. So we'll talk about that at the end.
Okay.
So
And we'll determine what the punishment will be tonight.
Yes.
Ooh.
Because I figured that would we gave people time, chance to kind of help with the punishment.
I think so.
So.
But yeah, you picked the right guy. I'm all about competing, and
I knew James would take a chance at a competition.
I like to win, and if I don't win, I'll respect you for beating me. So that's how it goes.
And I like a competition too, and this is something that I can be competitive about. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what this is I picked 5. I'm going to use the word categories, but I'm using that kind of loosely. 5 parameters, I guess.
Criteria.
There we go. To pick for a specific game. We each pick following that criteria, and then we'll pick a game in that area, and then we have a point system. Should I give the point system at the end or at the beginning, or both?
Maybe lead off with the point system.
Okay, so the way this works is, like I said, there's going to be 5 criteria here, 5 different games that fall into 5 different criterias.
Yes.
And the point breakdown will follow this. Each game that we pick up has the potential to earn us individually up to 100 points.
Ooh.
So for just buying the game, that's 25 points.
So if you get a loose cartridge.
If you just buy the cartridge or the disc or whatever,
yeah,
25 points. So you get something no matter what. That was incentive to at least try to finish. Maybe at the end of the year you still haven't found something, knowing you at least get some points to buy the cartridge.
You own the game technically.
It's still getting you some points, and it might be enough to put you over the edge at the end of the end of the year. Next, for another 25 points, is complete in box.
Yes.
So this is a flat rate, and I decided that should be the complete in box will. So to most hardcore collectors, that would mean you have to have the reg card, you have to have any inserts.
Inserts too.
From a personal level, I'm okay with us doing this where it's at least box and manual. And like a 64 game should have the cardboard insert that it sits in if it has one of those.
Oh, yeah.
And if there's an important extra, like says poster inside or something like that,
or a giveaway or something.
If it says that specifically on the outside,
yeah,
it should have that. But like
that's
the
fair.
Reg cards, the emergency, what's it called? Like the warranty information cards that come in there, or like Nintendo loves to do like their old flyers for Nintendo Power.
Yeah,
if those aren't in there, that won't hold against us for the 25 points total.
I like that.
So 25 points for buying the game, 25 points for it being complete in box.
Okay.
Next, this idea was to try to get us out and about, not just stick to eBay or Mercari to buy things.
Yep.
So it's if you buy locally. So 20 points if you buy it by going to a local game store, a gaming event, even OfferUp, or from somebody that you talk to that has the game to sell. If you buy it from a person you can talk to, you get an extra 20 points.
As long as they don't stab you in the back, Arc Raider style.
Yes. And just take your money. Then you lose the contest. You should have been smarter.
Because you're dead.
Yeah. Well, that sucks. And I get his game.
Game over. Yeah. You got my car keys too.
I really won this one. And then also an extra 10 points if you take a selfie at the location where you purchased the game. It can be a little harder if you do it on OfferUp. But
with an employee, or just proof. You're saying your receipts, basically.
Proof with the receipt, like at the location. So if you buy it at a store or an event, like take a picture of yourself with the game, like. If you buy it at an event like Portland Retro Gaming, they don't give you a receipt. But if you take a picture of it, you're holding the game. I'm not going to fight you on it. I doubt you'll fight me on that.
This is like the picture Pixar didn't happen point segment.
And it can't just be shared at the end of the year. It needs to be shared to either social media for me. Like I need to post it to my ex.
So we're updating this live, or as live as we possibly can, like on Discord or to each other.
Yeah. So that keeps it like. The point, this is only so fun for listeners, I assume. I think some people will really find it interesting, but to be able to be invested a little bit by us sharing photos and some information as we go along on the journey through the year, and also helping by them being able to pick a punishment, I feel it gets them invested a little bit more.
Sure.
And then last is condition. I felt like if you bought a game complete in box, even if it's in terrible condition, it should still be worth something. So that's why I started it at least 5 points. So if like the box is just torn up, like really wrinkled and water damaged, and the manual's missing the cover or something, it's not going to get you the full 20 points, but it'll at least get you something. But up to like if it's pristine,
minty,
or pretty close to pristine, like just a couple little like issues here or there, like a little small crease or a little dent on one side, would still be close enough that it would.
I feel like we should have a uninvested third party that determines that 5 to 20 scale.
I agree, because we'll probably fight about it. So,
for sure. I know I will.
So, I have somebody in mind.
Okay.
And him, even listening to this, he probably knows who he is.
Okay.
But I'll talk to him later. So that's it. So that brings the possible total score for each game we pick up to $100 or 100 points.
$100. What?
And I thought about different parameters here. They're like, well, if you find it under price charting, but I was like, that's not necessarily fair. Like that can be so hit or miss. Like I want that to be a goal. I thought about like it has to be cardboard and you get this many points, but I was like that. I don't necessarily want that to be a thing either. Yeah. So I felt like these were good parameters to make each pickup fun and to kind of have the potential to hit that point total pretty easily. Yeah. So like I said, 25 points for buying the game, 25 points for it being complete in box, 20 points for buying it. I said locally, but basically buying it in person. You can be in. I don't care if you're in Japan or wherever.
Yeah, New York City, LA, wherever.
As long as you buy it at a brick and mortar store or from somebody, that's good. Condition is worth 5 to 20 points, and then taking a selfie and posting it at the location is worth 10 points.
Okay, so 5 games worth a total of 20 potentially each. So, or no, 100 total. So 500 points total potentially.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay, so that's
I made that really confusing there. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I had to think about it for a second. Yeah. So 5 games, each game worth a potential 100 points, so 500 points total.
Okay.
So you can be as potentially low as 100 points total by the end of the year.
Yes.
By just buying the game loose, or as high as 500 points. So I tried to build a system that gave chance for it to not just easily be we both hit 500 points.
Yeah. Some variability.
Yeah, and I also feel like once everybody hears the criteria for the 5 pickups, they'll understand that also a little bit more too. Yeah. And part of the goal for this too was a personal goal of mine this year is I want to go to more conventions, specifically gaming conventions, but it doesn't have to. I don't care if they're mixed genre convention like. And locally at Puyallup. Next month we have the Washington Gaming Expo and Anime Expo. And I'm planning on going to that. And I put a post on Discord, but if anybody's local and they want to go, it'd be fun to have a group together.
What day are you going on?
Saturday.
What's the day in February?
7th, I think.
February 7th. The day before the Super Bowl.
Sure. Didn't know that.
I'll have to get back to you, but that does sound fun.
But that, and then like I really want to go to Portland this year. Last year,
Absolutely.
I had a, but like this year I feel like it's even more important because a couple of these things probably won't be easy to find locally. It'll have to be at a convention like that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and anybody that listens to this too, if you hear of a convention or something somewhat locally, like I'd be willing to drive like up north or down south or east even a little bit, like to go to a con that is retro game focused. Like I think it'd be fun. So that's kind of, like I said, I want to go to more. They used to have one in Renton. I don't know if it's still a thing, but I would like to go to that one this year if it's there. But yeah, also just go to more game stores. So hey, that's another thing too. If you listen and you're local and you want to do a game hunting day where we go to brick and mortar stores wherever, let's make it happen. Like I think that'd be fun. Okay, so now let's get to the games. So there are five games, each with their own criteria.
Yes.
First, I thought this one was... Well, this would be kind of like a nice, easy point for anybody to start with, potentially.
Yeah.
And that's a game under $25 max. So that is, I'm sure that we both have plenty of games that we feel like should be in our collection.
Sure.
That don't fall into that, or that fall into that criteria that we don't have. The second one was a handheld game. So anything from Game Boy to DS. I kind of wanted to keep it to DS to keep it a little more retro.
Okay.
So keep 3DS and Vita out of it.
Sure.
Because if I was doing Vita, that'd be too easy for me. Like I'm still gonna work on my Vita set this year. So I wanted to keep it for me personally, like a little bit more focused.
Yeah.
So that's the second one, a handheld game, like I said. Third one is the Gen 6 or 7 game. And the point of this was to kind of keep the some versatility in our picks, I guess. Because I think generally speaking, both of us probably lean immediately more towards like old retro, like NES, SNES, Game Boy, 64. And this kind of like brought us a little more closer to that, and also maybe made us think a little bit more about something we don't have on, Gen 6 or 7 would be GameCube, PS2, Xbox, and even Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Or PS3, 360, Wii. So it kind of makes us think outside the box a little bit, maybe more about stuff we don't think about collecting every day, but we feel like we should still have.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I was going to say it's arguably the GOAT generation of video games as it is. So
absolutely, it was fantastic for a lot of ways, but it also changed the formula in the worst ways, and in a lot of ways when it comes to gaming.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Fourth one was, and this was kind of the one for me that made me even think about starting this, and that's picking an NES or SNES game, and it has to be from a known favorite series of ours.
Okay.
So we can't just make up and say something cheap when we don't, and it not be from a series you really like. It has to be from something we know we like. And I figured that was easy enough.
Yeah.
And then fifth and final would be a Grail item. So I'm sure most everybody knows what this means, but a Grail item would be something that's usually outside of your everyday purchase area because it's a little bit more expensive or rare. It's not something you see every day. But I didn't want to say like we have to buy the most, you have to spend $500 on a game. I use the term Grail a little lightly because it's still a game that we probably wouldn't buy every day. But for me, it's not like not going to be Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure or Resident Evil Gate, and those are $500-$600 games. That I'd love to have, but I wanted to put an achievable parameter on it. If you decided to go for a $600 game, that's on you. But I wanted to make sure that it was like fair, but still kind of have like you can't say, in my opinion, you can't say a Grail is a game that's only worth like $50 that is also common. That's an achievable game that you just haven't spent the money on yet. So that was the goal with this one, and probably the most likely one that we would need to go to like a con to get,
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. That's going to be,
And then I do have for the Grail the option for an Audible. It's a sports reference for you.
Ooh.
So we can have a backup pick there, and we'll
Blue
get
42, Blue 42, Omaha.
Yeah, stakes, baby. So we can we'll talk about that when we get to it. But an option, basically a backup pick if we can't find the first one or if we change our mind. Then lastly, I also created a sixth bonus criteria.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't talked to James about this, but this would be an extra pickup. It's something we both have to get, and if neither of us gets it, if we don't both get it, neither of us gets points.
Mm-hmm.
If only one of us gets it and the other one doesn't, the person who doesn't loses 25 points.
Okay.
So you have a chance to lose points by not actually grabbing
Yes.
this. If you agree to it.
If I agree to
this
it.
is not like I said. This is you hadn't heard about this. This is on the spot agreements. And once we get to this point, after we talk about the Grail, if
Okay.
you agree to it,
Okay.
I will tell you what the game is.
Okay.
Games. There's
Okay.
two.
Oh. Wait.
I put some thought into it.
All right.
So there you have it. So it's a competition. We have a point breakdown. I'll go over that again at the end. And we have criteria for each pickup.
Yes.
So, James, why don't you start us off with your first game, which would be a game under $20.
Okay. So this
Or $25.
This did not take very long to think of. As y'all know, I'm a big sports fan, especially a local, regional Seattle teams. That's my jam. I'm a homer, and go all Seattle sports teams. I love y'all. This is one that actually Rob made me aware of. I don't know when it was, maybe a year, 2, 3 ago, honestly. But there is a game on the PlayStation 1.
Oh, there's
Called-
only PlayStation 1 pick. There's only PlayStation pick, period.
This is gonna be my. I won't say that necessarily. Maybe, but it is called NBA Jam Extreme. And who do you think is on the cover of NBA Jam Extreme?
Gary Payton. Sean Kemp.
Ding 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 ding.
Ah, let's go.
Friend of the pod, Sean Kemp.
Yes. Oh, he loves it here.
Frequent co-host, Sean Kemp.
Check out what's his weed shop called? No, don't actually do that.
I don't know what it's called, but it is there. It's right by where the Sonics will eventually play, hopefully, once again. It's NBA Jam Extreme. It's not an overly. So the criteria is under $25, correct? Mm-hmm. According to price charting, it is CIB goes for about $13, $14. So I know originally we talked about under 20, but 25 was a good parameter too. This is a game I've wanted to put in my collection for a while, not for playing purposes. Obviously, I suppose I could play this on my PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
But this is more just as a display piece. It's the only game that has Sean Kemp on the cover, and if you ask me, he's my favorite Sonic of all time. So I need to have this game. It was not an overly successful or popular NBA game. NBA Jam as a series was popular, but I believe this was kind of the first one that dabbled in 3D, obviously, on the PlayStation. This was also the same year, though, that NBA Hang Time came out. And obviously, NBA Hang Time kind of grabbed the torch and took over, so to speak, of the arcadey, like, NBA basketball games with You're on Fire.
Until the live games started taking all of the heat,
until all
I
the
guess.
Sims got all the love, Yeah, it's true. But I honestly had no awareness of this game or the cover until Rob brought it up. So thanks, man.
Yeah.
That'll be the under $25 game I'm shooting for.
Mm-hmm, that makes sense. And you do want to collect, and if you said this, I apologize, but you do want to collect Seattle sports
Yes.
featured games.
Yes.
So
Yep.
it makes perfect sense. That's a good one.
So that's not for playing, more for collecting and displaying. But I still really want it.
Yeah. So for me, my under $25 one is it's also not as much for playing; it's more for collecting. But only because I have other ways I can play this game already.
Okay.
But it feels like it's pathetic that I don't have it because it's not that expensive and it's a very important game.
Yes.
And I also very much so love this game and have fond memories of it from being a kid. And that's Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the
nice.
Sega Genesis.
Oh, very, very nice.
It's only about $20 complete in box.
Okay.
So not very expensive, and that's because it was bundled with consoles like the Model 2 consoles for years.
Oh,
So
really?
it was, but it came complete in box in that.
Like packaged in the actual console box.
Yeah. So
cool.
there are two variants of it. Not that matters too much, but
Yeah.
there is the one that came with the console that has a not for resale. It's not a sticker. It's printed onto the cover. And then I think the cartridge says not for resale on it too. And then there's just a straight up Sonic 2. This feels, like I said, I have a Genesis. I have it hooked up. I don't know that I would necessarily play it because I do have different Sonic collections that I can play Sonic 2 on pretty easily. But this is one of the most important Sega Genesis games. It's a game I have fond memories for, and it just feels like a glaring omission in my collection. Like, I'd like to own all the Sonic games on Genesis, But this is the most important one for me. It's the one I played the most as a kid by far.
Yeah.
And I still consider it to be, and I'm not alone here, but I still consider it to be one of the best Sonic games.
Yeah.
Like it holds up. It's fantastic.
Was that the Sonic game that launched with the Game Gear? Or
No, the Game Gear launched with just Sonic 1, but the Game Gear
okay.
Sonic games were not like the Sonic 2.
They were different. They were different.
On Game Gear was not just a port of Sonic 2 from Genesis.
It's different, its own version
it's
of it.
own game. I think the Sonic 1 was kind of a port of Genesis 1 or the Master System version.
Sure.
Anyway. But yeah, this isn't the game that made me think of this challenge, but this is up there. Like this is what kind of helped. This is one of the games that helped me figure out one of the criteria of keeping it under 25. So this is a cheap one.
Yeah.
But like it's only so fair to make a criteria that to put this on there unless I make a criteria where we can both kind of try to manage that.
Yeah. I think it's quite poetic that we both chose a Sonic for this genre.
That is true. I did not even think about
It's
that.
fate. Super Sonic the Hedgehog.
We've come. Here we are. I don't know what to say about that. But yeah. Bring back the Sonics.
Bring it back, baby.
Or just go to Oklahoma City and
No,
see the Sonics play.
Shut your mouth. Well, hey, I don't know if you've been listening. The latest news is pretty positive that something could actually happen this year. So we'll see.
We'll see. They've been saying that for years.
Yeah, I know that there's facts. Facts.
All right, James, let's go to the second criteria, which was a handheld game somewhere between Game Boy and DS. Well, not between. Somewhere from Game Boy to DS era.
Yes.
So that could also include Game Gear, PSP,
Yes.
Atari Lynx if you wanted to be crazy.
Yes. Before you made that qualifier, what I was going to choose was a DS game. It was going to be Metroid Prime Pinball because I had Metroid Prime 4 and all the Morph Ball shenanigans fresh in my mind. And I was like, I've never owned it. I've played it, but I've never owned it. And I was like, I really want that game. But that's not part of the criteria. So what do you think I pivoted to?
It could be DS. I told you it could be DS.
Oh,
if you
it can
wanted
be
to.
DS?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, now let's hear what you pivoted to. And
It's a pretty natural transition. I pivoted to Pokemon Pinball because I don't have that game anymore.
Okay.
Pokemon Pinball is considerably more expensive, especially CIB, than Metroid Prime Pinball would be. But you said DS is part of the criteria?
I thought you understood that. Sorry. It is. I included DS and PSP.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I should have listened better.
You're fine.
I think in that case, I'm probably going to go back to Metroid because it's more reasonable, I feel like.
I agree. I was gonna suggest that anyway because it's more easily obtained. Now the question is,
Yes.
I believe when the game came out, it was packaged with the Rumble Pack.
Prime Pinball?
Yeah. Are you gonna go try to find?
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't need it to be complete in box
for sure. But if I'm getting this game, it's gonna have all the gadgets. I've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. It's gonna have all.
Who's it and what's its galore?
Who's it and what's its galore?
What about Thingamabobs?
You wanna? I got 20.
Who cares?
Who cares? No big deal. I want pinball. Anyways,
there's a Little Mermaid pinball on Game Boy Color.
Is it for real?
And it has a rumble built in.
Are you for real?
I'm 100%.
You're not lying at all?
I'm not lying.
Oh my god, I should pivot to that.
It would be nice and cheap. It's only like $30.
Is it really? Okay, but I don't actually want that though. But it's really funny that exists.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that on I've got my eye on you list like long term. That's really funny.
I know that because I've wanted to collect all the Rumble Pack.
Little Mermaid
games.
Pinball actually exists with a Rumble Pack?
Yeah. It's one of those cartridges that has the Rumble built in.
That is so funny.
Like Pokemon Pinball.
Yeah, it sounds so stupid in me that I'm going to go for that eventually. But because the first thing that came to my mind is Metroid Prime Pinball, I'm going to get that.
I think that's great. I love that game. I have that game.
You have
I
that
got
game.
it for $5 at GameStop when I worked there. So I've had it for a long time.
We're well beyond that era. So
and I have the Rumble Pack.
I got to get the Rumble Pack.
No, it ain't.
Triple A's or double A? It's got to be triple A's.
Oh, no, it's not. It's a little cartridge. It doesn't, and you pop it into the DS slot. So it has to be played on a DS.
I'm saying in terms of like keeping the Rumble Pack like charged.
I'm sure it takes a little watch battery or whatever.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, because it's not. You can't just
like
pop something open. I can show you later. It looks like a Game Boy Advance
I don't
cartridge.
know why this could be completely faulty memory, but in my head, with Pokemon Pinball, which also came with a Rumble Pack, obviously, I remember there being a little battery you had to plug in, like, and they even packaged it in.
That had the Rumble Pack built in, and it did take a AAA battery to work.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong about that memory.
So the DS had a Rumble Pack accessory that you could pop into the Game Boy Advance slot.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just built like a Game Boy Advance game, and Metroid Prime Pinball was one of like 5 games that utilized it.
Okay.
I have in my back of my head, one of the things I'd like to do eventually is get all of the DS games that supported the Rumble Pack, and do a video about them because it's just so random.
It's Little Mermaid's going to be on that list.
That was a Game Boy Color game.
Oh yeah. I don't care. You put it on the list anyways.
And we're going to pivot real quick to the Game Boy Color. I just think it's a really random thing, but I love this. I loved the idea of just random Rumble in games.
Nintendo was all about that Rumble, man. Yeah. And hey, you know what? That survived the test of time. Rumble is still a part of modern
I'm pretty
gaming.
sure the 64 did it first with the Rumble Pack, and then PlayStation did it smarter with the DualShock, with it being built in. But it started with
PS2
the Rumble
had
Pack.
Rumble, right?
Yeah, the PS1 DualShocks had Rumble.
Oh, really?
But they weren't the launch controller. The analog.
Yeah, the launch controller for the PS1 is kind of weird compared
it's
to
small.
the
And then they released the pretty much iconic DualShock.
Yeah.
One that had the Rumble built in and the dual analog sticks.
Yes.
So yeah, Metro Prime Pinball is a fantastic pick.
I will say though, I just looked it up, and it's honestly not that much more reasonable CIB according to price charting. Like Pokemon Pinball was like 130 CIB. Metroid Prime Pinball, according to price charting right now, complete is 105, 35 loose. So I'm assuming this has to do with the timing of Metroid Prime 4 coming out. It's like not the greatest time, probably.
The, like 90 to 100 range for a while.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe you got a little bit of a boost from Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played Prime 4 and I just love the Morph Ball segment so much, and I've always wanted to own this game. And so yes, this is going to be my handheld entry. It's going to be tough to get CIB. I feel like I could, if I look really hard, I feel like I can find a double-digit price. I feel like that's CIB.
Mm-hmm.
I think I
agree.
can.
And also too, I didn't say this in the outset, but if you went to a game store and you wanted to trade stuff in to get it, you don't have to pay cash. Like, I don't care how you buy it.
That makes sense.
It's just so that you have options.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you could probably find it under 100.
I think so.
So
I think so. I'll try what my dad did with Big Boy. Maybe it'll work.
Yeah.
Maybe in my older age now I can.
Big Boy lives on.
R.I.P. baby. We love
what
you.
he's doing right now. We should try to find him.
We
we have no idea what his name even was.
We'd have to go to what was that? What was the place called? It was Al's, which still exists.
Yeah, there's one in Federal Way.
Like, we need to know who one of your employees from
remember
2000
to
2005. Big guy.
You had a guy. We called him Big Boy. What'd you call him?
Philadelphia Eagles jersey. Kind of didn't really care about much.
Yeah. Oh, he's in jail for making us lose thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. So my handheld game, I went back and forth on this one because there's quite a few that I could pick.
Yeah.
And I tried to go with something that I've talked about as being a game that I love, and also one that I don't have a physical version of at all, and it's not like super easily accessible.
Mm-hmm.
So I went for the original Game Boy, Donkey Kong 94. Almost said 64.
Oh, nice.
Because when I think of the original Game Boy, like it was hit like the NES, it was hit and miss. Some games are fantastic, some games are not.
Yeah.
But the original Game Boy had like a handful of games that were just like way better than they should have been for a portable, like very minimalistic handheld from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And Mario 2, the 6 golden coins, obviously Pokemon, Link's Awakening, Mole Mania, which almost picked for this, but I decided to go on a more for this one to go a little bit more achievable because Mole Mania is very expensive.
Mole Maniacs rise up.
There's tens of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, Donkey Kong 64. Oh my God, Donkey Kong 94.
Yeah.
It's only around like $60-ish on average.
That's not
so
bad.
It's not too expensive.
That's surprising because it's always people always talk about how much
I
they
know
love.
that's kind of why it also feels like it's a shame that I don't already have it. It's kind of stupid. But for anybody who doesn't know, this game is great. Okay, because it starts off where you're just playing the OG Donkey Kong, like you would have been the arcades in 1980 whatever. And that kind of seems lame because you can play OG Donkey Kong anywhere. But once you beat those 3 or 4, is it 3 or 4, whatever, like generic levels. Then Donkey Kong smashes the level and destroys it, and he keeps climbing up. And there's a tower of over 100 new levels that are very puzzle focused. They took the OG Donkey Kong formula and just like made a game that was so much bigger and just very creative. Like each level was fun. Like I loved this game. I don't remember when I didn't have it. It wasn't like a game I had right away as a kid, so I don't remember how I even accessed it. But I remember when I finally played it and like playing through those first 3 levels, and once it opened up and there was all these I remember loving this game because it's easily where the idea for Mario versus Donkey Kong, where they got their ideas from. Like very creative, very great puzzle game. And like I said, definitely feels like one that I should have already owned. I've looked at it in the past and never pulled the trigger. This is one specifically that I want to own all these in really good shape, but this is one like I want to buy it in person because I want to see it before I buy it. Because I want to make sure I buy like a really nice crisp copy of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my handheld game.
Nice. That's a really cool entry.
All right. So the third criteria was a game from Gen 6 or 7.
Yes.
So James, what'd you pick?
So this is the one where we have multiple. Did we talk about this?
Yes. So we do have. We decided for this one. Sorry, I forgot to mention that we'll come in with multiple picks, and then we will pick for each other.
Yes.
Which game we will pick. So you kind of, if you want one more than the other, you can fight for it a little bit.
Yes. I like that. Yeah, make a case.
You can give your reasons, but at the end, whether it be we're just being or we really believe that you should get the other one for one reason or another, we get the final say on which of those 2 games you pick. So we had to pick these games individually, so they're both games. Whatever game it is a game we want.
Yes.
So it's not like it's not that crazy. We're not being like super rude to each other.
No.
So 2 games from any Gen 6 or 7 console. So go ahead, James.
Oh wait. We're settling on 2 that we have to get, or we're settling on 1?
Settling on 1.
Okay. Good.
So you give your 2 games.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I actually settled on 3 here that I have, so you get to pick between 3.
Oh.
Is that okay?
Yeah. That's fine with me.
All right, here we go. So what I got, these are the 3. I'm gonna say them first, and I'm gonna say why. Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 on the GameCube. Splinter Cell 1 on the GameCube.
The OG, huh?
The OG. Or Xenosaga Greatest Hits version on PS2, because that's the most affordable version of it.
The first Xenosaga?
The first Xenosaga Greatest Hits version, which I think is
can't be more than like $25.
It's not. No, I think that's right about where it's at. And I don't. Yeah, I bet Splinter Cell is probably more expensive. But the 2 GameCube games are going to be more expensive than the PS2 game almost certainly, because that's just as a rule how it works these days.
Splinter Cell's kind of cheap, I think.
Is it? Okay.
OG Splinter Cell.
I got it somewhere in here. I took like screenshots. Let me find. Yeah. So let me find. Yeah, Splinter Cell is. Oh yeah. According to this, Splinter Cell on GameCube 15.
Yeah,
CIB.
I would have thought it was probably around 10.
That is
20.
It's shocking that there's still reasonably priced CIB GameCube games at this point in history.
Yeah, there's not many, but they exist.
Yeah. Xenosaga Greatest Hits version is 23 CIB according the Greatest Hits version. So that's Xenosaga 1. And then
the Black Label.
Yeah. And then I already know this, but Phantasy Star Online 1+2, not plus, not the plus version. Yeah, 1 and 2,
like $200-$300.
Yeah, that's honestly one of the Grail GameCube games. But yeah, I think that comes to $83 CIB. So that's kind of the higher priced one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my 3. The reasoning being, I have a lot of good memories, obviously, speaking of Michael Jackson, and looting and team-based combat. Yeah, we definitely put our hours into Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2. Really fun game, and a game that I've always wanted to go back to, at least own, but definitely go back to with friends, the same friends, really, and play again. Splinter Cell, I have most of my memories of Splinter Cell have to do with the multiplayer aspect, but call me crazy, I don't feel like the stealth genre has really taken any really large steps forward past what Splinter Cell did, and I feel like it was maybe I don't know if pure is the right word, the most realistic seeming of the stealth action genre, like even more so than like something like Metal Gear Solid, which was more like anime seeming, more like dramatic and story based, whereas like
Yeah,
this was more like tactical and based. I mean,
It's a Tom Clancy game.
yeah, it seems more based in reality, even though I'm sure it's a far stretch from reality still. But like I feel like it did stealth in its own way, and those games are great, even just the solo campaigns. And so I'd like to pick up the first one and kind of start anew, as it were. What was the other one?
Xenosaga.
Xenosaga. Do you guys know how I feel about Xenoblade Chronicles these days? This was kind of not the so Xenogears would be the first one, and that's definitely on my I've got my on you list. But that I think roughly is like one. Well, first of all, it's not Gen 6 or 7, so it doesn't qualify for this genre. That would be on PlayStation. There's a bunch of Xenosaga games.
There's 3.
Yeah, 3. So there's a trilogy. This is a lot like Xenoblade Chronicles, which is probably why people think that Monolith is going to pivot and try to start something new, because they do tend to like trilogies. They've done it at least twice now. But I'm a big fan now of Monolith and all the things they do in their games. And I haven't played any of the classic ones. I've just played as many Xenoblade Chronicles games as I've had the time to complete at this point. And so I know I'm going to get to these at some point. I know Xenogears, from what I've heard, reputedly is the best story and the one that people maybe hold the dearest of the old classic Monolith stuff.
Yeah, I've never played excuse me. I've never played Xenogears, but I've only ever heard that it's fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's been on my to play list for a very long time, but I don't own it. And
yeah,
like you said, it's gotten up there in price.
Yeah, I think I looked it up. I don't know if it qualified for our Grail genre, but I feel like it's like 135 or 140 or something like that at least.
It was close enough.
It's close enough. It's close enough. Yeah.
So I guess we can get into like the picking for you here in a second.
Okay.
But I will say, Xenosaga, I've talked about this.
Yes.
It is my. I've talked about Pokemon Box many times. How
Yes.
I wish I wouldn't have sold it, but I'm okay with it because I sold it for the right reason. I still made way more than I paid for it on it, and it was all right. I sold Xenosaga, the trilogy, way later.
You had the original games, not greatest hits. And
Yeah, I had all Black Label. They were all. I bought them all at launch, so they were all original. I love these games. Like it's that sci-fi, like really, really well told, like sci-fi storyline. And Cosmos is like is a great. She's an android, I guess. Like she's a great character. It was awesome because that's one of the things that like pushed me into playing Xenoblade 2 because I found out she was one of the blades you can get. And then that gave me like an extra push because I loved that there was a connection there. And and I loved it separately on its own. Yeah. But I loved that connection to the Xenosaga games. Yeah. They're very good, very story heavy. Like the joke used to be that there's more like video, like more cutscene than there is gameplay, but it's not true. They're just long cutscenes.
Fine with me. I got no problem with
that. But it's a fantastic series. And it is a series, unlike Xenosaga, which doesn't necessarily lead into one another. They can stand alone. Xenosaga is Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3. They are sequels. Like it is a series,
like Xenoblade.
Are
they standalone? Well,
they're not standalone. It is a series.
So it's more. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It starts with 1 and it ends with 3.
So it's more like the Star Wars trilogy than something like Xenoblade Chronicles is, where they feel standalone enough, even though they're definitely related.
They're interconnected, but they're you can play them without having played. You can play one without playing the others.
Okay.
This is not the case. Xenosaga, you can't start with 3. You won't understand what's going on.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to start with 1.
Okay.
So
I like that.
It's a fantastic series, and I absolutely love it. I'm gonna go ahead and say for you, I'm cutting Splinter Cell out.
Okay.
Too easily achievable.
Fair enough.
You could find that. You could potentially find it at a Goodwill.
Okay.
Ooh. Like it's and it doesn't. You have a lot of love for like chaos theory and stuff.
Yes.
And I think you should get it eventually. But I feel like the other two make more sense.
Yes.
For where you are now as something you definitely should own.
Yes.
So then the question is.
Yes.
Selfishly, there's that part of me that wants you to get Xenosaga because I love Xenosaga.
Okay.
And I would like you to play it. Then there's the part where like I also have Phantasy Star Online, so I have the option. We have the option to play it, but it would be nice for you to also have it. So if we wanted to play it, get together, you, me, and Jordan, and have a fourth or whatever, we have the option to play it multiple places.
Yes.
But I think
I like you're reasoning this all out right now, trying to reach. I like this. Let's reaching a conclusion.
I think Xenosaga wins.
Okay.
Okay. Because I think that's cool that you have it on there.
Yes.
I like and I like the reasoning. It makes sense because you're really you've grown to love Monolith
Yes.
as a creative developer.
Yes.
And personally, I don't know. I've never sat down and ranked like my RPGs like in a list of like series.
Inevitable future
But,
episode.
Yeah, I should at some point. But I do think Xenosaga is up there.
Okay.
I mean, it's potentially top 5.
Wow.
But
Wow.
like I said, potentially I have to really sit down.
Have you talked much about Xenosaga on the pod before?
I've talked about it a little, but I don't know if I've talked about it a lot.
Yeah. I'm an idiot. I forget things immediately. So I probably just didn't remember, but yeah, I wasn't aware that you were that attached to Xenosaga.
Yeah. I have definitely mentioned that it's my biggest regret when it comes to selling something. Like, I really regret selling those games.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I sold them probably for a combined total of like 100 to 150, whereas Xenosaga 3 alone is worth like $300.
Yeah.
So I wish I hadn't, because I'd love to replay them. I'd love for them to remake them or remaster them in a trilogy.
There are rumors, by the way.
I would be happy with that. Like, but in the meantime, I can be sad about the fact that I don't have them anymore.
Yeah.
I'd like to get them again, but I do think
Well,
I think it makes sense.
Clear this up for me. I probably should have done the research and know this already, but so I know that Xenogears was made by Squaresoft, right? Or published by Squaresoft. Essentially, more or less the same development team that exists now as Monolith, but they were under Square at the time. Xenosaga, was that also a Square published game, or was
Namco published
Namco?
it.
But
once again, it was that same
creative
core,
team,
like Monolith.
It became Monolith.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the creator.
Yes.
Do not quote me on this because I haven't actually sat down and done like deep research, but I think the creator is the same across all of them.
Yeah.
Like the one person who really sat down and wrote, came up with ideas and wrote the stories.
Yeah.
I believe is the same across.
Yeah.
Because that's where his where the little bit of like interconnecting threads come in.
Yeah, because what I've read on like forums and Reddit and random places, videos on YouTube, is that most people clamor for a Xenogears remake because it's the oldest game, probably the most fitting to get a remake or whatever.
Yeah.
But it would be the most complicated legally because Square.
I think Square owns the rights to it, because things used to be and they still are messy, I'm sure. But it was a lot more common back in that day where a publisher would, you know, somebody would make a game, but the publisher would own the rights. You know, they'd buy the rights to it to help publish the game.
Yeah.
That's a little less common now, I think. Like, I think people can partner with a publisher and still own the rights to their game. Yeah. But yeah, it was super. I mean,
to be fair, Nintendo now is in a pretty good spot with there's the falling out is way in the past, right? Like, I mean, the fact that they were able to get I don't know, Super Mario RPG remade, basically.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that without Square's approval. So maybe it's not that like ridiculous of a scenario, but there are rumors that may be what the next Monolith game is a remake of one of their old classics.
I'd be curious. Xenogears itself, like I said, I haven't played it, but I wonder what they would do if they'd go full-fledged remake, which I think it would work, or if they'd go HD 2D, which would still be a full-on remake. But I wonder what art style they would pick, because that PS1 graphic style does bode well for like an HD 2D remake.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because like, what if Monolith wasn't involved at all? Maybe just Square makes an HD, like you said, like a remake of their own, whereas Monolith would probably want to do it themselves. Ooh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, it's very curious, because I think a Xenosaga remake, that was a fully 3D game, fully voice acted. Like, I feel like if they remade it, they just make it better. You know?
Yeah,
like Final Fantasy VII, they just bring it to today's standards of graphics and stuff. But Xenogears is a little more. Yeah, like there are certain games like Chrono Trigger, I don't think should have a full 3D remake. I think they should, if they were ever to remake it, it should be 2D HD.
That'd be great. That seems inevitable. It has to happen.
It feels like an inevitability.
Really easy money to make for sure.
Yeah. On the Generations Behind podcast, Craig, who's on the pod, he did the Vita episode with me last summer. Yeah. He always says that he thinks that's their like in case of emergency button. Like they're struggling and they need to make money, break the glass, remake Chrono Trigger.
The recession is officially here, or is it? Click.
Remake Chrono Trigger now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, that would be. But yeah, I like talking about this. I find it hard to believe that like well, who knows? People are self-interest always comes first when it comes to making money. But like, I can't imagine they would on their own that Square would remake something like Xenogears without getting some kind of input or green light from Monolith, because a lot of the same people are there, the people that loved it and made it and know it, and it would be really contentious if they did something separate from them. I feel like
it'd be a weird call. Okay, I want to raise something to you. So,
okay,
do you agree?
I love your decision. Like, honestly, like, it just feels like the best pick based on my current trajectory of video game play.
Okay, so that's good. I'm glad, because I'd love you to play it. I'd love to hear your feedback or your thoughts on it.
Yeah,
but I want to encourage this. If you were to ever buy the whole trilogy, the only one that has a greatest hits variant is Xenosaga.
Yeah.
The original, not the second one or the third one. So if you bought all three, you'd have a red label and 2 black labels.
That's not very...
It's not very cohesive.
It's not very harmonious.
It is only about $10 more.
The original is?
Yeah, to get a black label over a greatest hits label.
Maybe I missaw that. Okay, well then, yeah, obviously I go for the original.
Okay.
I wouldn't go for greatest hits.
That's what I mean, it's your choice. That is not part of the criteria. I can't convince. I can't say no. You have to get.
I can't get
label,
3 greatest hits, so I don't. I would rather have them aesthetically match.
I agree. So
Yes.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I also think, like, if it's a series that potentially would mean a lot for you, you'd want to have the black label.
You're definitely right. Although, yeah, if I like it enough, then I'll buy the greatest hits to have both. But but yeah, I like your pick.
All right, good.
So it's Xenosaga Standard Edition PS2.
But at the end of the day,
was it on any other consoles?
It was just PS2.
Just PS2.
And there was a DS remake of the trilogy in Japan, but we never got it.
That is tragic. That is tragic.
Yeah, but it was a DS-ified remake, so of course it's not going to look as good. Probably didn't have voice acting.
And we had region locking on that console, so it wouldn't. Yeah.
No, DS didn't have region locking.
Not region locking.
3DS does.
Oh,
but the DS didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to clarify, if at the end of the year you end up getting it, but for whatever reason you decide to get the greatest hits, that's not going to affect the point scoring.
0 points.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, so you ready for my?
I'm ready. So you got 2 options?
I just have 2.
Oh, good. You keep it simple for me. Very nice.
So,
flip a coin. No.
So this first game, it's the only game in the series that I do not own in any form.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I own every other version of this game,
right.
of a game in this series.
Yes.
But I've never owned this one. I've also played it the least, but I have always wanted to own it because I want to play it more.
Yes.
And that is Mario Kart Double Dash.
Ooh.
So, like I said, don't own it.
Okay.
I only ever played it a few times at your house. I don't remember if you guys owned it or you borrowed it, but we didn't play it that much.
We owned it at a point. I don't know. We didn't own it for a long time. We didn't own it from the very beginning that it came out.
And unlike Mario Kart 64, we didn't play it much together.
No.
Like, not when I was over, at least. I think at the time we were kind of a little bit more into, like, playing Splinter Cell and
yeah.
You guys play a lot more Madden and stuff. So like
sports.
Playing Mario Kart probably wasn't as important.
Yeah.
But like I said, never owned it. I still think it has the most unique and well done gimmick of any of the Mario Kart games.
Agreed.
I love the double racers on the carts.
Agreed.
It had some iconic tracks that came from it. Like obviously everybody loves Baby Park other than me, but it does exist.
It's a great track.
I like I said, I redid my room today, and recently, and I have just certain consoles hooked up to my main TV. The only retro console I kept hooked up, other than the Analog 3D now, that I kept hooked up to my actual big screen, via HDMI, was my GameCube.
That's fair.
Like I love the GameCube. I like to revisit the GameCube. Having more multiplayer games on the GameCube is never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing.
It's a strong contender.
Okay.
But when it comes to pure playability in a game, I will probably play quicker once I acquired it.
Okay.
And really want to play.
Okay.
It was a PS3 game.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to give a little background to it because there's a chance you've never even heard of it.
That's probably very real.
So this game was made by Sony's Japan studio.
Okay.
And Japan studio was known for making Ape Escape, Loco Roco, Patapon, Gravity Rush, the Knack series. And they also worked on with, I don't remember the creator's name, but they worked with the creator of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus to work on those games.
Okay.
Lots of games there that I really love. Like Ape Escape was fantastic. I never really played Loco Roco, but Gravity Rush, loved. Knack, I actually really enjoyed, even though it's not great. And then I love Shadow of the Colossus. But then Japan Studio eventually also merged in together with Team Asobi, who is the creator of Astrobot.
Okay.
So a lot of the team that worked on these games worked on Astrobot as well.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of crossover here in games that I really like. And on the PS3, they made a platformer that I never played. And I love my platformers. It has its unique gimmicks. And this game is called Puppeteer.
Puppeteer.
Yeah. So you play as, I'll show you a picture of the cover. You play as a little marionette puppet.
Oh, nice.
And he has a little pair of scissors, and that's how he fights enemies. And it's very creative in the fact that, like I said, I've never played it, so just from videos I've watched. But you alter the stages as you move with the scissors, and then you fight giant enemies, with the scissors and stuff. You're playing this small character in a much bigger theatrical world. Unlike Mario Kart Double Dash, I've never played this game.
Yeah.
But I do also have a PlayStation 3D TV that I bought recently. That came out during the PS3 era, so that it could support 3D. But I have that set up, mounted on my wall, specifically right in my TV section,
Nice.
with the PS3 hooked up to it.
Nice.
Because I want to play more of my PS3 games that both I've never played and some that I still want to.
Yeah.
Also, because I can still earn trophies on PS3, and
Yes,
I want to do some of that.
That is true.
So this game is very high on my list. Has been on my list of games I've wanted to get for a long time, but I like I said, I never have.
Yeah.
It and Mario Kart are about the same price. They both fall into that $50 to $70 price range, depending on the time of day, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically it. On one hand, you got a kart racer. Like I said, I have all the other games in the series. Only one I don't have, the one I played the least. Great multiplayer game. And then on the opposite hand, like I said, a 2D platformer, probably one of my favorite types of series, favorite gameplay series.
Yeah.
And from a developer that I very much so enjoy other games from, and is one that I've never played, that has people seem to love it. And it's kind of one of those PS3 games that it makes no sense that I've never played before.
Okay. Well, let me think this through out loud. I am more of a Nintendo guy. Everyone knows that. I do have Double Dash. So you could come play it at my place, or I could bring it to your place. It is a great game. Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like, not to get too off subject here, but sometimes I wonder if Mario Kart should do the Pokemon thing and just have a new racing gimmick every time. They don't really do that, right? They just make it. They kind of spread out. They spread outwards. They don't just change inwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it would be interesting if they did more gimmicks like Double Dash, because it was really cool and unique.
They've tried a few things. 8 obviously did where you could hit the things and you change to the floaty.
Yeah, like the anti-grav, water racing.
But that was a parallel movement, whereas Double Dash's multi-kart felt like a bigger expansion.
Yeah.
On the basic idea of Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But other than that, they haven't changed a lot.
Yeah. I feel like I don't have any special attachment to Mario Kart Double Dash myself, other than I really like it, and I like some of the tracks a lot, and I do respect it as being a mechanically good Mario Kart that tried something new, and I appreciate that. And obviously GameCube is my bread and butter when it comes to Gen 6. Puppeteer is more intriguing to me though as a game. It's obviously the developers, like you said, have pedigree, making some great all-timers. You are a platformer guy. I'm a platformer guy too, but you're especially a platformer guy. And it seems like a game you actually want to play, and you'd probably play it faster, and it would also provide you content for the podcast and or YouTube videos. So it does work on a practical aspect too. I'm going to go Puppeteer.
Right.
I just think it's more intriguing. I've never heard of it. I like the concept of it. The cover is cute. I like the scissors. And I think you want to play it. I feel like that's the other thing too. Collecting is fun, but collecting is especially fun when you buy something with the purpose of wanting to play it as well. So I think Puppeteer is my decision. That is my final answer. Am I right?
I would have agreed to either, but I would say these were both here because I wanted either of them.
Yes.
But Puppeteer is the one that if I was to pick one for myself, I would have probably picked because I really want to play it.
And trophy
And the trophy whore inside of
trophy
me
fodder. Like
loves the idea of getting another platinum.
I always think this in my head. I never think it out loud, but I feel like you would play the Switch and the Switch 2 a lot more if there was just achievements. And I feel like ultimately that's the reason you always lean PlayStation first these days, is because you get that little achievement and trophy hunter, and you
I like earning achievements.
You know,
I do.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not everybody gets it, but I really enjoy it.
I get it.
I think for some people it stresses them out. Like they feel like they have to do it. I want to do it.
Yes.
Like I enjoy it. And
I think that's totally fine.
And I've learned to not let it stress me out if a game's trophies are too difficult and I just want to enjoy the game. I just enjoy the game.
Yeah. As you know with me, if it's a game that I really, really love, I do want to get the whatever it is, the platinum or just the 100% on Xbox. I do wish it was an option on the Switch, and I don't think it's ever going to be, but maybe you never know.
Yeah. I will say I've thought that before, and I maybe have never verbalized it, but I do think that if there was an achievement system, because I like the braggadociousness of being able to be like, yeah, I played that game and I got all the stuff.
I know, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I don't know if you've ever thought it, but like I think subconsciously you feel it. You're like, even though you're not really accomplishing less playing a Nintendo game, you do feel like you're accomplishing more when you get a platinum, because you're like, I did all the things. All the things that you could determine for me in advance, but still.
That must be a 90s kid thing, because I do think it's more common with kids in the 90s that we really like having a checklist and being able to finish that checklist.
I think it makes... Well, I mean, it's one of the reasons people play Pokemon is the same. Like, you have a built-in achievement system, like getting the full dex or whatever.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them all. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. Same kind of thought process. But anyways, Puppeteer looks cool. Enjoy. If you can find it.
Good pick. Good pick.
If I don't buy them all first, so you can... So you can't have Puppeteer.
What a weird choice you made, but...
I'm going to corner the entire market. I'm going to lift the price to $597.
Oh, damn.
I'm going to have my whole game room is going to be filled with copies of Puppeteer.
Can you walk in? Can I just have one, James? No.
No.
Do I win the competition?
Yeah. Is this glass bulletproof?
Yeah. No, sir. Oh, man. All right, so for you, the pick was Xenosaga 1.
Okay.
And for me, the pick was Puppeteer.
Nice.
It's a good one.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm glad that you picked Puppeteer for me, because that's what I was leaning more towards.
I figured.
Like I said, I would have been happy with either.
Yeah, that's fair.
I tried to sell them both equally without leaning too hard into one.
I can read through the lines here.
I can read you like a book.
Just you could sense it. There was a tone about your voice.
Probably
no, but
was.
honestly, like personally, I'm more interested in hearing about Puppeteer than Double Dash. I know what Double Dash is, so
yeah,
and it's a great game.
That makes sense. All right, let's go to the fourth pick. The qualifier for this one was it had to be an NES or an SNES game from one of our favorite series. Can I take a guess? What? Not what game, but what series you chose?
Yes, absolutely. To be fair, I feel like I might have to cut one immediately off the bat. I don't know why I settled on one of these games, but I added two more, I think, because I wasn't sure about the first one. But yeah, go ahead. Take a guess.
I was going to say, I think... no, I wish I wouldn't have said this. Zelda. I was leaning more towards Metroid, but Zelda seemed like it maybe made more sense.
Try again.
So it's not Metroid either?
No.
Oh,
here's the thing. I have an original Super Metroid on cart, so it's a harder sell for me to go for like Super Metroid, for example, on SNES. Even though it's almost like my favorite game of all time, as we discussed.
What else would James be? It's not Zelda. It's definitely not Pokemon. They didn't exist yet.
I know. Too bad, huh?
Star Wars? Okay, Star Wars.
Ding, 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 ding. I feel like I talk about this game way too much.
So the first, Super Star Wars? Then?
Super Star Wars. Yeah, you would think, and I know I owned it growing up. I went through my box that I brought home of the Super Nintendo games for my parents. It's not there anymore. So that is one of the 3 games ultimately I wrote down, but I think only 2 really qualify for the parameters you selected. So Super Star Wars is one of them.
Were we picking again for this one?
Huh? Oh, well, for me, you can. Well,
okay.
You know what?
I only have one because this one I'm set on for me.
You know what? I'm not sure if I want you to pick this or if I want to pick this myself.
Well, this wasn't a rule we came up with. So if you want me to pick,
but
one,
you
I
said
can,
this genre was the reason you came up with this whole podcast topic. Period. Right?
Exactly.
So you're settled on one. You know what yours is.
Like I don't want to play a game with.
Well,
this
then how about we collaboratively decide what mine's going to be You sell me on why I'm right or wrong on what I pick. How about that?
Let's do it.
Okay. So my other two, okay, I know this isn't going to be the pick, but the first thing I wrote down, I don't know, I went through the whole list of, just slowly, Super NES games on price charting, just like trying to become familiar with the library and seeing if there was things I forgot about or I'd never heard about before. And for some reason, I clicked on Home Alone. It is obviously not a favorite video game series of mine. It is one of my all-time favorite movies.
The game sucks. It's out.
No, I know. I even looked for top 50 Super Nintendo games of all time, 100. And it never was on any of those lists.
The game it's made. I don't remember the developer off the top of my head, but it's made from one of those developers that's known to have made
bunch of trash,
really mediocre
I know.
NES and SNES games.
When I also discovered that there was a Home Alone 1 and 2, by the way, Lost in New York, as we all know. A great sequel.
This is a little random, but on this off-topic topic,
Mm-hmm.
there's a Super Nintendo game that I'd love to own, but it's crazy expensive,
Yes.
based off of a popular TV show from the 90s that makes no sense that it had a Super Nintendo game. Do you want to take a guess at what that was?
Home Improvement? Am I right? Am I right?
You got it.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, there's a
Wow.
Home Improvement SNES game where you play as
What?
Tim Taylor with his staple gun, and you go through the different backdrops of these sets that apparently exist.
Can't believe I got that on the first
that's
guess, because
really
that was literally I don't know why it was the first thing I thought. I just went, I know you like Home Improvement, but I didn't.
Home Alone made me think of it. I actually really
Home
like Home
Improvement.
Improvement. It was a show
Maybe
me and my
that's
dad
why-
watched.
Maybe that's why you remembered it, because I said Home Alone and Home Improvement.
Yeah, it's what made it come into my head. But I would love to own that game, but it's pricey.
Is it basically trash though in terms of
No,
gameplay?
it's supposedly pretty good. It's a pretty decent platformer.
Yeah.
But Home Alone, I remember playing it when I was a kid and not understanding what the heck I was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I've watched videos more recently by retro gamers.
Yeah.
And that game and the not Bill and Ted, Wayne's World?
Mm-hmm.
They make these games that are based off these IPs that were just mid, not great games.
Yeah. So back then, They put a lot of hard work into licensed games. It's one of the reasons Super Star Wars is one of my picks. And, we talked about Lion King and Aladdin. This was a really fun and interesting, not really original in terms of selections. People are like, oh, that's popular. That's a good movie or a popular show. Let's make a video game about it. And sometimes they were really good.
It worked sometimes.
But this was not one of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin McAllister. I love you and your movies. But no. Okay, so we're going to cut that one. All right, so the other one. What was it?
Wow, you really want this one.
No. This is a great one. This is a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna have to check. I don't know whether I have this on cart already or not, but for me, it's one whether I have cart or not already. I have to get it CIB.
Card or not. Sorry, it's card or not sounded funny, so I had to
Cart
replay it.
or not. No, it is Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. the first one. As you know, I purchased the sequel, Winning Run, at Portland Retro Game Con the last time we went, I believe.
2 years,
And it even came with an included baseball card, which is really cool.
That's cool. I love it when it comes with there's extras that it comes with.
Yeah, it's really cool. I don't think this one had an included card. I will have to double check, but I've seen the cover of the box, the cardboard, and I don't see anything like this included like a card or a baseball bat that was not included.
Have I ever shown you that baseball that I have? It says Super Nintendo on it, and then it has Ken Griffey Jr.'s Major League Baseball on the other side. I don't remember where my dad got it, but he got it from me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was in a giveaway at a store or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, keep going.
These two entries, Super Star Wars and Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr., they're fitting. They're both properties I love. I love Star Wars, and I love my Mariners. I love Ken Griffey Jr. as the GOAT. He's literally one of the greatest. He's not just our GOAT. He's literally one of the GOATs of baseball.
He's up there. He's one of the Michael Jordans of baseball for
absolutely. Sure. You put him on the same list as Babe Ruth and all the greats. You know, he was that good. And there was a reason he was the face of baseball in the 90s, because he was freaking baller. Literally, if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, he probably would have been. For some people, he was the face of sports, but if it wasn't for Michael Jordan, he would have been the face of sports. Ken Griffey Jr. They were both just absolute all-time, not just generational, all-time great players in their sports, right? And it was kind of cool that they existed at the same time, because it was I don't know.
90s were a great year for sport, or a great decade for sports,
for sure. But yeah, so yeah, two licensed games. have I talked about this about King Griffey Jr.? Like maybe yeah, short of Madden, this is probably the game I have the most memories attached to. That's a sports video game. Like I remember I've always been a weird nerd that likes to organize competition. Like I remember taking out a pen and paper, like a little three ring notebook with sheets, and I would write down a whole schedule like a baseball season, and I would schedule the games that me and Jordan would play against each other in Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. So like I'd have like a whole September or like April to September schedule, and I'd be like, and I'd literally schedule it all out. Like we're gonna play on this day, we're gonna play on this day. I don't think I had like a full 100 whatever game schedule, but I had a schedule, and I was like, and then we're gonna have playoffs, and it made zero sense because it was literally just two teams playing against each other. We should just do best of 7 right now and get it done with. But
but it was that gumption.
Yes, like I've liked to organize tournaments, etc., and compete in video games for a long time. It was a really fun game, and I don't know where it matches up against the best baseball games of all time. I think some would say that the N64 version of King Griffey is maybe a better game. I've heard that, but I don't have a lot of memories attached to that game.
Yeah. Well, I remember playing the Super Nintendo one at your guys' house a lot.
I think
I remember also you guys had that baseball bat controller, and I remember thinking that was the coolest thing in the whole world.
Was that like a third party bat?
It's called Batter Up. I do not know if it was like a Nintendo published item or if it was third party. I don't remember, but I remember you guys having it.
Did that work only on Winning Run, or did it work on this first one too? That's what I'm trying to remember. I feel like that one.
I'm sure that's an easy
question
Winning. To find
I feel like that was on Winning Run, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong.
Anyway, we can look into that because I don't know for sure.
That's okay. What was I going to say?
Batter Up controller.
Oh, dude. One of the... Okay, have you figured it out? It has one of the best songs in all of Super Nintendo music and soundtracks. I promise you. If you boot up this Major League Baseball featuring King Griffey Jr., the song that leads off is a banger, and I'm gonna go with it right now. It's like and then it breaks out in a solo too. Like, oh my gosh, it is so good. The fact that there isn't a bootleg version of that game to this point available for me on vinyl is very frustrating. I have requested it. I have shouted it on the rooftops on YouTube, on Discord. I know other people want it too. I'm just hoping one day we get it.
I mean, that'd be cool. I do remember that song. I wouldn't have until you just
you remember it? Did you remember it immediately?
Yeah, no, it was really good. I definitely remember it.
The music was really good, and honestly, I feel like a lot of that music plays through the actual gameplay experience too. They didn't change it up much. Like it was just so fire.
Yeah, no, I remember really liking that game. The only down point to that game was that the only real baseball player in the game was Griffey.
Yeah.
So like, and as a kid who was really into the Mariners at the time, like. Yeah. Having all these made-up players was kind of disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, remember when we talked about this? Dan Osen was in that game. Probably as Joey Cora, the intended Joey Cora.
That does make it even more epic.
Yeah.
And just a quick side note, Jasmine is within ear range of us, and she texted me that she looked it up, or she sent me a screenshot. It was a third-party controller.
Okay.
So it was not
It
made
makes
by
sense
Nintendo.
because I don't remember like a Nintendo stamp. It didn't have like Nintendo coloring. I remember it was blue, you know?
Yeah, I remember it being blue for sure. I think that would be a really cool item for you to have at some point.
If I'm being honest, I wouldn't be surprised that's still at my parents. Or maybe I threw it in the box and I don't even remember.
You should look for it.
I gotta remember that. So yeah, but Super Star Wars, I bring it up all the time. I just bought the bootleg version of that vinyl because that music is not as good, I don't think, but it was still very memorable.
You want my thought on what you should pick and why?
Yes, please go.
I think you should pick Super Star Wars.
Okay.
For multiple reasons.
Okay.
Both games, I feel like if it just came down to nostalgia and playability, it would be a tie.
Yeah.
But the main reason I'm saying Star Wars over Ken Griffey Jr. is one, you have Winning Run already, which means you should own this one too eventually.
I will. Yeah.
But you already have a sports game on this list with a Seattle team represented.
That's fair.
On this list. So I feel like a little bit of diversity plus the fact that I think it's pretty even with how much you love both of these games.
Mm-hmm. It's true. They would like if you put them in a March Madness bracket, this would be painful for me to decide pick one over the other.
Yeah, because I think if it really came down to that, it would be hard for me to be like, obviously, my bias is probably more for Super Star Wars, but that being said, I actually do really like the Ken Griffey Jr. games.
Yeah.
Like, I really enjoyed playing them as a kid a
Yeah.
lot, and I have fond memories of playing them at your house and
Yeah.
playing them at my house. So it's not like it's just an anti-sports bias.
No. But you love baseball, frankly.
I
You've
do.
always that's
I-
always been your favorite
I
sport.
do love baseball. I watched baseball games this year. I don't watch a lot of sports.
Yeah, go Mariners.
But the Mariners are really good, and I watched a lot of games, especially in the playoffs. But that being said, I think because your first pick is a sports game with the Seattle representation, I think you should do Super Star Wars.
I think that's fair. And frankly, my first pick in this category where I was leaning was a movie-based licensed property anyway, so Star Wars makes sense. And frankly, I'm probably more likely to play Super Star Wars. For me, it's more replayable than King Griffey Jr., only because I need somebody next to me playing King Griffey Jr. with me for me to want
you're
to
not
play
going
it.
to play it on your own much.
No.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And
too.
frankly, I've still never beaten Super Star Wars, so I feel like that's a challenge I have to accept and complete.
Yeah. You've never beat it?
No,
Dang, that's
I
crazy.
always got to the Death Star and died. The Death Star levels and died. As you
that's
guys
not
know,
even the hardest level.
there was no passwords like there was in Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. This way, you had to get it done in one set of lives, and if you didn't,
But you could, once you got to Tatooine, you could cheat that one spot and get unlimited lives. But that being said, I do remember I beat Super Star Wars on every difficulty, including Jedi.
That's pretty ridiculous.
But I mean, I was a kid, and I can't beat it on easy now. So like, the game is hard. I don't know how, but I think like that was one of my go-tos. I played it a ton.
That
And
game
I
will
do
make-
own it complete and blind.
That game will make you cry, but in a good way.
Yeah.
I think it's legitimately a good game.
Who doesn't love some good tears?
Yeah. Well, No, I love that game. So yeah, I like your pick. I'll go with that. I was fine with either because I love them both about equally. Honestly, like it would be, like I said, it would be agonizing. If I had to take one on an island to me, this game or that, it would be agonizing. But don't make me do this. I can't do this.
Take Hannah. Give me both games.
Yeah. So Super Star Wars it is, and I'm very happy with that because I absolutely have to get the game. So
All right, I think it's a good one. Are you ready for mine?
proceed. This is it. This is
the game that started this.
This is the inspiration of this idea.
Yep, 100%. So it was always going to be on this list. It was just a matter of like how I wanted, like when I said, I made the list kind of around this. And then I was like, how do I put this here? And I decided that an NES or an SNES game based off of a series that we love was a good spot for it.
Yeah.
An obvious choice and a game I still would love to own at some point. A lot of people would probably think would be the original Metroid. But it is not that. I would love to own it, but I think even though Super Metroid is my all-time favorite game, I think when it comes to a series that I probably have even more attachment to overall and have played more, I think that this game should definitely be in my collection. Do you want to take a guess?
I'm going to say Final Fantasy.
You are correct. The original Final Fantasy. I feel like I was listening. Like I said, this idea stemmed from I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about like the 10 most collectible games of all time.
Okay.
Like, and they were making their own lists. Like, and it was a lot. It was like, the original Mario, the original Zelda, somebody like the original Punch Out was on there because it was like an iconic sports game.
Yeah.
They had a lot of things, but then it just made me think like, because I don't really care about all that stuff when it comes to collect. Like, yeah, I would love to own all those games as somebody who enjoys collecting and enjoys video games.
Yeah.
But when it comes to personal, like a game that I really feel like I should own because of the impact the series has had on me throughout my life, how much I love it. I enjoy the first game as well, but this would be more of a shelf piece because I would love it. I should have it. It should be on my shelf, and that is the original Final Fantasy.
Nice.
It is just,
And that's on the NES.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got great box art. I mean, it started what is one of the best, most well-known series in the world that has multiple games in it that I consider some of my favorite games of all time. Like 7, 8. I really enjoy 9, 15, or not 15, 16. There's a lot of games in the series I really enjoy. I mean, it felt like a must-have, and like I said, like I said, this was the idea that this whole or the game that this whole idea stemmed from, because it felt like a gaming sin of sorts that I don't have it on my shelf already because of how much I love this series.
For sure. Yeah, like it represents not just your love of Final Fantasy and RPGs, it kind of represents like your love of video games as a whole, honestly.
Yeah. And this is one of those things too, like I think a lot of times people think of collecting as, I mean, I see it a lot in forums and Reddit and YouTube and stuff. People think of game collecting as this, like, if you collect games, you're some kind of like sinner if you're not playing them. But I just don't understand where that mindset comes from, because people buy art and lock it away in storage units for years because they don't want it to see the sun. People buy cards, baseball cards, or comic books,
Pokemon cards, comic books.
cards.
Yep.
And those people are not judged for the fact they don't look at those cards or read those comic books every day.
They're judged because they're using it as currency, like it's a stock market.
Yeah, and that's not, like, I'm not buying this as an investment.
Yeah.
I'm buying this because on a personal level, the series means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I promise you, I'm not going to pull this NES card out and play it. Like, probably, most likely, never.
No.
I mean, and maybe that...
Yeah,
but I have the option to, I
totally
guess, if
fine.
I want to, because I'm not buying a sealed copy. I don't want any of these sealed. I want the option to play them if the opportunity, if I needed to. But if I want to play Final Fantasy 1, I will play the Pixel Remaster version, because it's frankly just a much easier way to play the game.
Thankfully you don't have to play this if you obtain it, because there's other options. There's other ways to play the game. It is Final Fantasy, so
yeah.
So
and it's just like I want to own this game because I love this series, and I want to be able to, I don't even care. I don't really care what other people think. Like, I like it when people come over and want to look at, like, the games I have, but I want this for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I want to have it on the shelf so I can look at it. I want to be able to pull the map out, the instruction manual. I want to look at it.
I don't think this is ridiculous at all. Like, it's more of a symbolic collector's item than it is like one you're intending to use, which is totally reasonable. I have certain comics that are like that. It's the reason when Hannah bought me Box Boy Amiibo, that's like the only Amiibo that I'm actually keeping brand new in box and not opening, because it's just like
it's a pure collectible.
It's symbolic of, this whole thing that I collect, and it does not need to be opened, and it never will be.
And it's not because you want to sell it. I mean, the option is always there. None of us are saying that it's. I'm not saying that it's anything against that, but it's because of your love for Amiibos and just that in general. It's exactly what this is for me.
Yeah, that's fair. I like it. So what does it go for?
On average, it's like $150.
Oh, okay.
So it's a bit pricier.
So it's kind of tiptoeing on the Grail lines, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. So I mean, the goal here will be, I want to get it. Obviously, like the point breakdown, I want it complete in box, 100%. I'm not going to buy a loose copy.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
If I wanted a loose copy, I would have already bought it. They're not nearly as expensive. But I would like to get it complete in box, and I would love to get the map and everything that it was supposed to come with originally. But this is another one that I would like to get at a con, most like kind of like Donkey Kong, because
seems more likely you're going to find it there anyways.
Yeah, and that's where some of these even come in. There's certain games I don't need to necessarily own 10 out of 10 pristine. Like I would love everything in my collection to look like that.
Sure.
But there's certain games that like I recently bought Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Mystic Quest, on the Super Nintendo. I just was kind of like, it was cheap, and I was like, it'd be kind of cool to eventually play it. I've never played that one. It's complete in box, but it wasn't. It was like maybe 6 out of 10 shape.
Yeah.
But I don't care. Like, it's for me. Like it's going on the shelf, and eventually I would like to play it.
Yeah.
But this is a game I want it to look. Doesn't have to be 10 out of 10, but I want it to be the shelf presence to be nice.
No, for sure. When it's an item this special and expensive for that matter. But I totally agree. Like when it comes to CIB games, and I'd always prefer to have CIB. I've said this before. I have a standard of condition that I expect it to be at before I'm willing to spend my money on it. I don't even know exactly what that is. I just know when I see it, I'm like, that's good enough. It's hard to put a number on it because I'm not a grader. I don't know those standards in and out, whether it's near mint or very good or fine or whatever the standards are for video game collecting. But like it's totally fine to have a game and it have some damage and you still want it. Like it doesn't matter. Like you have the game. That's generally the first standard I have to meet,
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, so that's the fourth one. So your pick, Super Star Wars. Super
Star Wars.
Star Wars. I think I started to say Super Stardust.
Oh yeah. Stardust. Okay.
But Super Star Wars.
Super Star Wars.
And mine is Final Fantasy on the NES.
Okay.
So the OG.
All right.
Okay, so this is the heavy category. So this one, like I said, this is a grail item. This is something that we probably wouldn't buy just any day of the week.
No.
It's going to be on the pricier side. I did not set a general. I set a kind of a base of, it probably needs to be over 150-ish. And I know to a lot of people that don't collect or like care about retro stuff, that probably sounds crazy. But we are crazy, so that's okay. But the goal here is like, these are items that, excuse me, this item is one that we really want in the collection. If by the end of the year we don't find it, or we decide we don't want to spend the money on it, or financially can't, that is okay. We have 4 other games to try to get us as many points as possible.
Yes.
There's no pressure here other than just a slight punishment.
Yes. It could be the ace in the hole, though, if we want to win the competition.
Exactly.
And not face the punishment, whatever that is.
And once again, like I said, part of the fun of this is to potentially get us to more game stores and game cons to potentially have more opportunities to buy this or other things we might want. But I also figured if I actually do it, it'd make great YouTube content too.
It would. Yeah.
So the Grail item, James, like I said, there's a main one and an audible. There's no picking here. These are just yours. I don't have any say in them like we did in some of these other ones. But why don't you tell us what your Grail item is?
All right. So I'm pretty sure I've discussed this on the pod before, but it's one that I've literally chased and looked for every time we've gone to Portland Retro Game Con. It's what I looked.
This is what I assumed it would be.
Yeah. It was automatic. Like, kind of like Final Fantasy was to you. Like this would be a symbol. I almost certainly wouldn't play it, but I could on my analog pocket if I really wanted to. Although, frankly, the cartridges, you can get the cartridge itself pretty reasonably, probably like $100, maybe less.
Even less, yeah.
Yeah. But it is Pokemon Red version, the original, the OG, the one that I had myself in 1998. And I'm going to add a caveat. This doesn't matter for the purposes of points or our scoring criteria in this competition, but
Sandshrew variant,
exactly.
Don't you?
So yeah, a lot of people aren't familiar that there's a handful of variants for some Pokemon games, but the first copies, and I'm not super studied up on this. I just know that they're on the back of the cardboard box, the Game Boy Pokemon Red version on the back. There's a little picture of a battle that's going on between Meowth and Sandshrew, and that would be the first variant, the original. And I think in the years that followed, they started printing a different variant that had Rattata and Pidgey on it. So that would be basically a Gen 2 version of Pokemon Red in terms of what got released. I don't know what's more available and prevalent.
The first one is harder to get.
I think it is harder to get.
It's more desired too. That first one, what the main, other than the picture, what the why they made a second printing of that version was?
No, enlighten me. On
that version of Red, it says in text somewhere in Pokemon Blue version. It calls itself Pokemon Blue. In the writing on the back. So they accidentally copied and pasted the text from the blue version, and so they both say the same thing. Yeah. So the first revision of Pokemon Red, when they then changed the image, fixes it to say Pokemon Red version.
Oh. Well, I mean, that would make sense too, right? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Meowth and Sandshrew were both exclusives to Pokemon Blue, weren't they? They weren't even available in Pokemon Red. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty confident one of them at least.
Sandshrew is 100%. I don't.
Okay, Sandshrews red. Sandshrews red. I think Meowth was blue. Okay, so maybe it's not that big of a clincher.
No, I think Sandshrew blue.
Sandshrew blue. I thought I'm fairly confident Meowth and Sandshrew were both Pokemon Blue exclusives.
You might be right. Because I'm almost positive Sandshrew was a blue exclusive.
Yeah.
Because I had blue.
Yeah.
And I remember using Sandshrew.
Yeah, that's right. Because Ekans was the corresponding one for Pokemon Red. I'm pretty sure.
Jasmine's fact checking. Are they?
Oh yeah, we got.
You're saying both Meowth and Sandshrew are exclusives.
So far, just Meowth.
Okay, then I know Sandshrew is too.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's interesting because the first variant of Pokemon Red had 2 Pokemon on the back of the game that you couldn't even get in that Pokemon version, which is
Yeah.
very interesting. And honestly, that's probably one of the reasons that they pivoted to a different picture in the end.
Yeah, it's probably why
much
they changed
less
the picture
inspiring
and then edited the typo.
Yeah, and Pidgey versus Rattata is not really inspiring compared to Meowth and and Sandshrew, but it makes sense because those are the first 2 Pokemon you can catch in the game. So, yeah, I mean, it's the most iconic cover of any Pokemon game, right? It's Charizard. It's, I mean, you could argue Pokemon Yellow is just as iconic, but like Pokemon Red is what most people saw first. I feel like a lot
I
of
mean,
people.
I saw Pokemon Blue first. That's what I went for.
You baby Blastoise.
I love me some Blastoise.
Yeah, there you go.
I was a blue boy.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
fair.
been Team Charizard.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
you're
I'm not,
Team Red.
I don't even feel like I'm Team Charizard, right?
You're
like
Team Venusaur,
I've never,
but-
yeah, I am. Like, yeah, if I was
didn't get green
if I was
version
in
in
Japan,
America.
I definitely would have picked. Well, that's the thing; it's not the red version. But in the end, I ended up being a Bulbasaur lover of the original 3 starters, and then ultimately Venusaur. I've won championships with Venusaur, Chris.
Yeah.
Not Charizard or Blastoise.
Hey, so have I.
Hey,
I had Venusaur on my
hey,
championship team,
dude, well, that's pretty. There you go. You should change your mind now. Change it.
but I can't. Yeah, no, that seemed like the obvious one. I know when we went to Portland. I remember you looking at multiple copies and not being able to settle on one.
Yeah, and that, like I said, that build that standard that I have in my mind of what I need it to, I've never found. Like I did find one that was close, and I remember at the GameCon walking back and forth, just kind of pacing, literally watching it and like looking at other people like with side eyeing them, like, wait, are you going to take it before I do? And I think I did decide on getting it at the end of the day, and when I came back, it was gone, if I remember right. Or,
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I probably should have just got it then.
Well, then we wouldn't have a great option for this Grail.
Because like we've discussed on the Discord, and like Bird Dog brought up in this YouTube clip, like this moron, what's his face, is talking about Pokemon games again, and
One of the Pauls. They ruin everything.
They literally just breathe or burp and stuff, and like they literally are market manipulating everything.
God, and they're just a couple of douchebags. They just seem like terrible people. I probably shouldn't say that because I don't know them.
Yeah,
but they seem like total.
Well, I just know that his brother got knocked out. He like got his leg broken or his jaw broken. I think that's what happened. His jaw got broken on the Netflix boxing, the live Netflix boxing match, and people were all around the world cheering.
But then, how do they make so much money then?
He gave
If
the people
don't
what
like
they
them?
wanted.
I don't understand.
They're just I don't know, dude.
Whatever.
Here's the thing, Chris. Somebody that listens to this podcast.
Don't want this stupid stat brought up again.
I wasn't going to bring up that stat,
okay.
Chris. I know what you're thinking, and I wasn't even going to go there. I might not. I'm going to say it, but I was going to say there is somebody, maybe some buddies that listens to your podcast that also listens and watches their content, Chris. And we don't want to step on those toes.
Look, guys, and girls, if you watch, or anybody listening, if you watch the Logan or Jake Paul or whatever his name is, if you watch their content, you enjoy it, I would like to know why. I genuinely, like, I'm not judging you. I just like to know why. What is it? Like,
Hit us up. Tell us what it is.
Tell us if you're that one person that happens to listen to this, that listens to them or watches them, just tell us why.
You know what they got
What is it?
You know what they got that we don't got, Chris?
Swagger?
Riz.
Yeah. Dude, I got all kinds of Riz.
Oh, they got that Riz.
I can do the Riz face.
They got something. They offer something to Gen Z that we just can't. Gen Alpha. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, what are we
yeah,
talking about?
probably cool.
Oh yeah.
Pokemon Red.
Anyways, the price roughly right now for Pokemon Red, the Gen 1 variant of Pokemon Red is a little bit more expensive. It's not a lot more because they did actually separate the variants value in price charting, and I think second generation or later is something like 350, I believe, CIB, and the first gen variant of Pokemon Red with the Sandshrew and the Meowth on the back is like something like 380 according to price charting. So it's not a big difference, but it does take it up a little bit of a notch, and it will make it more hard to find. But yeah, as long as I just get the game, I'll meet the criteria for this competition. So I might have to settle for the box being Gen 1 and maybe the cartridge and the instruction manual not being Gen 1, which if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, those have indicators and markers that distinguish them as also being Gen 1.
Yeah, I don't care about all that.
No, I know.
So that's your call.
I kind of care about that, but I care mostly about the box.
I mean, I might care about it for myself, but as far as this competition goes,
Yeah.
I don't care for you.
But yeah, like I was surprised to find out that, I mean, there's other games, other Pokemon games that have even more variants that it's very confusing. And like apparently Pokemon Blue, it's hard to tell what the Gen 1 is because of some weird mistake that happened. I don't know all the details off the top of my head, but apparently distinguishing Gen 1 from Gen 2 variants in the Pokemon Blue specifically is kind of confusing, and I don't know why. And I'm just glad that's not my heart version because
Yeah, I'd love to own a copy of Blue, but it's not.
me too.
That's not a high priority for me.
no.
I know I've watched, like I said, listening to podcasts and stuff, watching YouTube videos. When people talk about like those collectible items, or like those games that would probably hold their own value and just importance wise over the decades, Pokemon always comes up, and they always settle on Pokemon Red variant, the first variant, as being like the game that should be one of the 10 most important games of all time.
Yeah.
But what's funny is if you look at collecting now
Yeah.
and were to compare even that version, even that variant of Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue, whatever, neither of them are nearly as high as some of the other games in the series. Like
No.
Emerald and Crystal outweigh those two.
I looked up Crystal for this, and I was like, "There's no way." I was like, for me to want to spend $700 on Crystal.
I wish I still had my box and stuff from when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to all that. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, that's
And I know I didn't throw it away. I can picture for years where it sat
Like-
on my shelf, even when I was a teenager.
I'm being completely real
So-
here. I think 10 years from now, it's going to be. I think it's going to be something like Pokemon Box in terms of it. Well, I think it'll be at the value that Pokemon Box is at right now. Eventually, Pokemon
Pokemon
Crystal.
seems to just continue to be on the rise. Like I don't know that anything that'll change anytime soon. So
Yeah.
and no matter how you look at it, it'll always be one of the most important video game franchises.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I want to get Crystal eventually, but if and when I get Pokemon Red, I feel like the next one on my target list for the Pokemon set is going to be Pokemon Gold.
Yeah,
Because that is the one, again, the one I owned. It's the red version of sorts, and it's honestly, Ho-Oh to this day is one of my favorite Pokemon. So it'd be like in my top 15 or 20 or something, whatever it is, because I can't. That's an episode right there. What are your favorite Pokemon? Right there. There you go.
that'd be a hard one.
That'd be a really hard one.
All right, so what's your audible?
Ooh, okay. So I got some options here. So my audible, if I can't find Pokemon Red,
You have to settle on one of these.
I have to settle on an audible.
You can go with the options, but you can only have one audible for your overall pick.
All right. I'm trying to think what I should do here. Because for my Gen 6, you settled on what again? You settled on
Xenosaga.
On Xenosaga. So I have a couple options here. I'm considering Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 Plus because it's the rare version, and it would definitely qualify for a Grail type alternative.
Absolutely.
A Grail alternate. My other thing I'm considering here, and it's stupid. It really is stupid. But there is something that I want. There is something about Guide Louvre that just drives me insane, and I really, really want it. The English version it's a lot like Pokemon Crystal, out of my reach. You'd have to be at the right place at the right time to get lucky and
Even to
click
find it,
click buy it now to get it. Even just to find it would be
Isn't
something.
it frustrating that if you just went to the Louvre in that time period, you could have bought it?
I feel like that's what it is. Like, right? Like, dude, we were on that 3DS collector's edition we did. Like, we were recording it, and I discovered right there, like, it was just like a memory in the back of my mind. I was like, wait a second, I feel like I saw this game before. And you remember, right? I scrolled through my photos, and I found pictures of...
Oh, that's right. I forgot about this.
I was literally right there at the Louvre when it was on sale.
You could have bought it for like $30.
I could have bought one. I could have bought 10.
You just were stupid back
I feel like for me, it's like it haunts me. That non-decision haunts me because I remember thinking like, this is kind of weird, but like...
And it's weird because it's a weird kind of James title too. Like,
Yeah.
That's it because you do... Not that a lot of people aren't into art, but you do really like museums.
I do.
And like you like the 3DS, which we both do, but like, and it's such a niche object in time.
Dude,
like,
no joke. Like we went to New York City a couple months ago, and my favorite I don't know, hour of the trip if I had to pick an hour. And this is going to sound bad for a lot of people because a lot of people know I went there to go to visit Bethel. But I feel like the time on that trip where I was in my zone is when we all kind of went to the Met Museum and we kind of like parted ways. I don't know. I feel like it was like, I don't know. I think people like to process museums differently. You know, they want to go take them at their own pace. And we didn't have a tour schedule or anything at the Met. So we kind of just went to the Met. And I put in my headphones and I just walked it and listened to music while I was just walking around. And it was like the most relaxing experience. And like, it's a really cool museum, you know, like there's just timeless pieces of art that are, you know, historic and invaluable, you know, or maybe that's the wrong word, but just, yeah, you can't put a price on them. And there's something about museums. And I hate that I was at the museum that had this game, and I could have bought it, and I even took a picture of it because I thought it was cool. And I didn't buy it. And I could have bought it. Why didn't I buy it?
I don't know, man.
I buy other stupid souvenirs, and I could have just bought this one. That one. And
I could buy this 3DS game, or I could buy this little figure of the Mona Lisa.
yeah. This magnet's pretty cool. Yeah, I know. Like it. I feel like it kind of haunted me that I didn't buy it when I could have, and so. I don't think English is my alternate, but there are other languages, and so I did look this up just for posterity. Where is it at? Right here. Yeah. So, as a reminder, I don't know if this is higher or lower than when we brought it up on the 3DS episode, but Guide Louvre in English goes for $650.
I'm pretty sure it's higher now.
Yeah, it probably. And frankly, it's different than Pokemon Crystal in that it's very hard to find. You can find a Pokemon Crystal right now if you wanted to, and you could pay the money and get it, right? But Guide Louvre is different.
Pokemon Crystal is not rare.
No, it's just extremely valuable. It has an extremely inflated price. It's rare for a Pokemon game, I guess, by Pokemon game standards. But yeah, like it's not Guide Louvre rare. But they're, according to price charting, around the same price. I don't know. Yeah. You can update me on that.
Sorry, I was checking something for your sake because the 3DS is region locked, so I was curious if any version would work. But it looks like that game is not region locked.
Yeah, it makes sense
despite what language.
It doesn't make any sense for that game to be region locked because there's plenty of people that are bilingual that speak, or so. The Spanish version, according to price charting, goes for $171. The Japanese version goes for $372, which it could have some educational benefits for me potentially. I don't know what exactly. I don't know how interested I'd be. I think it'd be really cool to have a version of this game that I could display because ever since we learned about it, I've kind of fell in love with the idea of this game. And then I'm also haunted by the game I never bought, but. So that's an alternate, is Guide Louvre in any form, basically, but not the French version because I have no interest in the French version. Spanish makes sense. I'm half Mexican / Spanish. Japanese, I'm trying to learn Japanese, and I speak English. So I do not have any interest in the French version of that game, though it would make sense maybe because it came from France. But anyways.
I'll do you a solid, James. I'll say you can keep either as your Audible because
they both seem pretty unlikely.
The GameCube... the GameCube Phantasy Star, I feel like you could find at a con. Pokemon Red, obviously it's all about condition, but I believe you could find it.
Yeah.
If for some reason you couldn't settle on either of those, but you happened to find a copy of Guide Louvre in any language
form
you wanted, that is actually a Grail item because it is uncommon, extremely uncommon.
Yeah. It's uncommon to even see it posted online.
It's probably even more uncommon in those other languages locally. Like, what are the odds you'll find a Spanish or a Japanese version?
That makes sense.
I don't know. So that being said, like, I don't think it's unfair. Like, the option was just one Audible, but I don't care if you keep both.
Oh, well, like in Madden, you can have 3 Audibles. You can have an Audible locked to each button on your controller, right?
Yeah,
so that's kind of.
I never figured out how to Audible in Madden.
Those are the nitty gritty. That's a little bit overcomplicated, but yeah, okay, I appreciate that. So I have options on the Grail front.
So your main pick is Pokemon Fire Red, but
absolutely
your backups would be Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 Plus or the Guide Louvre.
Yes.
But not French. If you get French, you lose.
Not French. No, I don't want. Well, I wouldn't buy French.
You lose.
Okay.
In life if you buy French.
Okay, well, let's be fair. If I walked into a store and for some reason they had Guide Louvre and it was a reasonably priced, I wouldn't not buy it, even though it's not the language I'm interested in. It would just have to be like $100 or less for me to get that. You know what I'm saying?
Reasonable. It have to be way below.
But for my standards, that wouldn't count for this
It,
competition.
it doesn't count. I wouldn't count it.
Good.
You could buy 3 copies of it.
Can three French versions equal 1 Spanish or Japanese version?
Heck no.
I do think it's interesting too that the Japanese version is maybe roughly half as expensive according to price charting as the English, because it does make sense that there'd be a lot less people that traveled to France that were Japanese. Like that would be the least in demand copy of the game, right? You would think. It's a long ways from Japan, and like, you know, there are a lot of French people in France that speak English, a lot of people that speak Spanish. Obviously, everyone speaks French, but Japanese, I can imagine that game having a lower print run than even any of the other ones.
So you're saying it should be the rarest?
I would make the case that maybe it is, like, and that's maybe why the price is so much higher on the Japanese version. I'm not sure of that. That's just me speculating. I'm sure there are actually statistics and facts that we could find somewhere about, but the game itself is very obscure and weird, and there's not a lot of information on it other than
Use the term game very lightly.
yeah.
It's an experience.
To be fair, I did download it on my 3DS before the eShop went down, because I didn't
That was
care. I was like,
smart,
I need to have it. I need to have it in some form because I like the idea. I love the idea of it. So
Yeah.
And one day I will go back to France again, even though I'm not a massive fan of France. And frankly, I have
our French listeners.
I have an outstanding speeding ticket there, so I don't know how that would work. If I
You
have
get
to go
off the
back.
plane, they immediately arrest you.
Wait! I'm here to give money to
Sacre
your
bleu. He's back.
Later. A different video game, different Disney title. Yeah, I just like the idea of me being in there with my 3DS and it
Would have
guiding
an
me.
outstanding speeding ticket in another country. God.
That is such a James thing to have, an outstanding speeding ticket in a foreign country. That makes me scared of going back to the country.
Hey.
They got an APB on me. You're going down.
All right. Well, at least all 3 of those picks are very James. I on a personal level, it would be cool if you got Phantasy Star Plus, because
Yes.
like I've never looked into what makes it different. I think it's added levels, maybe a new class or something, but it'd be fun to play.
Yeah, I think it's something along those lines.
But all 3 are good picks for you.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to hear mine?
I'm ready.
Okay. So this is a game I've talked a little bit about it before. It has a version on PlayStation 1, has a version on Dreamcast, has a version on GameCube, and it has a version on the 64, which
Yes.
is the version I want. And part of the reason is, there's a couple of reasons. I've played this game. I could play it in multiple different ways, but I'd like to play this version of it because, and this I've mentioned before, this to me is one of the most fascinating pieces of like developer information ever. It's one of the most fascinating things that anybody's ever done in game development that I know of. I'm sure there's plenty of things that I would be fascinated by, but that I don't actually know. And humorously, Jaden on Discord just recently posted a meme referencing this. And that so what this is Resident Evil 2, which I think people know. I'm a fan of the series, but the 64 version is especially unique because on PS1 it was a 2-disc game. And it was 2 discs because there was 2 campaigns.
Nice.
Claire and Leon. And so you play as one campaign. Once you finish that, you put in the disc, you play as the other campaign. It's a lot of data. You know, like 2 discs, needing 2 discs meant it was a big game. It should have been physically impossible to actually port this game onto one cartridge on the 64 because of the size limitations of the 64 cartridges.
Yeah.
But the developers took the time and figured out how to take everything they had and condense it down, and with almost no, except like what's the word I'm looking for? Like nothing changed in the game. The gameplay is picture perfect. The the graphics still look really good, like the PS1 version. Only thing that changed a little bit is they had to compress the music down, so the music and sound effects are not as good.
Okay.
But otherwise, they took a 2-disc game, and I mean, there's data out there. I don't remember what the sizes are, but 2 discs with lots of hundreds of megabytes probably, and we're able to put it onto a 64 megabyte 64 controller or cartridge, and it was the exact same game. And that's crazy because like the meme Jaden shared said, it was that big meme dog. He's big and buff, and taking a 200 megabyte 64 game or PlayStation game and putting it on a 64 cartridge.
Yeah.
And then it's Call of Duty making a 100 gig game and not releasing it all at the same time and needing updates.
It's half done.
Yeah. So that's the joke is they did something like that back then, and they can't even get remotely close to it now in a lot of cases. But I just think this is a fascinating piece of like video game history.
It's really cool.
That it even exists.
Yeah.
It's from a franchise that I absolutely love.
Yeah.
And it is a version of one of my favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And I have my analog 3D now. Like,
dude,
I'd like to play it. I'd like to play this version just because, even though I've played Resident Evil 2 before, I'd like to play this version of it and experience what they accomplished with it. Yeah. And like I said, I just think it's really cool.
It would be a sweet game to set into that analog, and just sit there, just like the cartridge itself, the box somewhere else. But it'd be really cool.
Yeah. So that's my main pick. It averages around 200 complete in box.
Okay.
Just the cartridge is a lot cheaper. It's closer to like 50.
Oh, okay.
So it's not.
Yeah.
Once again, there's that option if I didn't want to buy it, but I want it complete in box.
Yes.
And the price varies depending on condition, but I'm hoping that going to a convention, you might be able to find it in good condition at a lower, closer to that price charting price of about 200.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's always, it's been high on my list for years. So it was kind of an easy pick for this. That was my pick for this for early on. Like I never really changed it.
Yeah.
My Audible changed a few times. I did for a long time have Pokemon Silver as my
Audible.
Yeah. Because I love Gen 2. But I have a copy of all three of the Gen 2 games. I have Silver, Gold, and Crystal. And whereas
on cart,
yeah. And whereas I would love to get a CIB, I went back and forth and more in like with something that I was like I don't have. I wanted to focus on something I don't have at all.
Yeah,
that I would really like to own.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I think out of everything on this list, this one is probably one that people might not recognize as something I really want, or because I've never really talked about it too much, but it is. So my Audible is Nights into Dreams, the big box version for the Sega Saturn.
Oh, okay.
So for those that don't know, this game was made by the same guy who created Sonic the Hedgehog, and I don't remember what his name is.
I wouldn't know that either.
But well-known creator or well-known developer, Yuji Naka. There we go. I had to look it up. That's why I was a little distracted there.
No worries.
But yeah, so same guy. It is a 3D platformer where you play as the titular knight, and you control on a. So I've really never actually played this game, but you control in a 3D scope where you kind of go around. I don't know how to, like a spherical type world.
Yeah. And
you control, I believe it's a girl. You control her in ways where you kind of like are doing loops and stuff, trying to go through loops. And anyway, I've always been fascinated by this game. For one, I was a huge Sonic fan when I was a kid. I had Mario games, but I was obsessed with Sonic. I loved watching the cartoon. I loved reading the comics. I wished I had a Sega Genesis and I didn't. But I loved going to like my friend Nick's house and playing Sonic 2. Which is why it's on this list. But I remember going to Target, being a young kid, probably 7 or 8 when the Saturn came out, and I remember them having the display for the Saturn demo unit out there, and I remember playing Knights and just being like fascinated by it. Like it at the time was that was before the 64, the PS1 came out, so to the time graphically it was probably mind-blowing to little me, but I also just thought it's very colorful, it's very vibrant, and it just has a very unique look. And when it came out, the big box version, when it came out, it came with its own 3D controller, so it's a bigger controller, almost a little bit more shaped like a Dreamcast controller, but it had a like a full analog stick that could go a full 360? You go all in a full circle. And they made that controller specifically for that game because that, that's how they envisioned the game to be played.
Sure.
I have a Saturn. I've had it hooked up for years. I have a few games for it, Panzer Dragoon and a few others. I have played it. I enjoy the console. I like the throwback to that era of janky 3D graphics. But in my personal opinion, like the only reason I ever wanted to own a Saturn in the first place was to play Knights, and I've still never played it. I've never owned it. So that's why I landed on it as my Audible, was because like if I can find a copy, like I would like to. I mean, even if I just get a copy without the big box and the controller, that would be cool. But specifically the big box variant, because I want the 3D controller too. Like it would be cool to have it and play it how it was meant to be played. And I genuinely want to play this game. Like that's really what it comes down to. Like I've always wanted to play it. And like I said, I feel like it's the reason why I even own a Saturn. Like when I got the Saturn that I have at a garage sale years and years and years ago. Yeah. And when I got it, it was even like, I can finally play Knights. Yeah. But I never bought it.
You don't got Knights. No, that makes a lot of sense. That's cool. That's an interesting pick. I've never heard of it before, but it sounds very interesting.
You've never even heard of it?
I don't think I've heard of it before, man. Then again, I'm not surprised, dude. You know, like the Sega was not exactly my lane then or now.
No, for sure. But have you seen that at least?
Okay, never mind. I've definitely seen that before.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, I can understand never playing it.
I take it back. That is a familiar looking cover. That's
purple,
cool.
Like Jester-like character.
That's familiar.
Yeah,
it strikes a chord.
It's a couple of years ago. I went to Collector's Haven. We had Wes on the podcast a while ago, which he doesn't. He still owns the store, but the video game portion is now Ironhead. Anyway, when I went there, they had a copy of Knights.
Are the deals still good there, like compared to what they were?
Yeah, I go there still.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's still a good store. The guy that owns it, I don't remember his name, but he's really nice.
Oh, cool.
All the employees there are super cool. But yeah, they had a copy of Knights there, and it was the big box. I don't remember how much it was, but I remember talking myself out of it. And I had trade credit. I think I put it towards something else instead. Yeah. And I wish I would have just done it. Because I don't know why. I think I was like, I could get that one game for this much, or I can get these 4 games that I want. You know, it's the same like little kid concept. Like I couldn't help myself. But I got 4 games that I wanted. Yeah. But now, if the same scenario arised, I would get Knights.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool pick.
Yeah. I would love to. I hope I'm able to find one of those 2 games this year. And I do feel like Final Fantasy might also be kind of hard. I feel like the other 3 are very attainable if I look hard enough.
Yeah. I'm going to take a look at should we say our lists again now that we have them out in the open?
Sure, let's do it. Then we'll go over the bonus option again. Ooh. You can decide if you want to do it.
Yeah. All right, so I'll run through mine. So for the game under $25, I picked NBA Jam Extreme on the PlayStation. For my handheld game pick, we settled on Metroid Prime Pinball on the DS. Very excited about that one. Gen 6, Chris selected my pick, and I'm very happy with it. It's going to be Xenosaga, the standard edition, not the greatest hits, on PlayStation 2. So I'm excited about that. Number 4 was my NES or SNES pick. We ended up with Super Star Wars, and I'll be getting that sooner or later anyway, so excited about that. Number 5, my grail is shocker, Pokemon Red. First edition variant, though that's not necessary for points, but it's what I'm going to be shooting for. I would be surprised if I bought this game if it didn't have that variant at the very least. And then my audibles were Guide Louvre in any language, and then Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2 Plus on the GameCube.
Yep, good list. So my 5 were, for the game under 25, was Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Genesis.
Nice.
My handheld game was Donkey Kong 94 for the original Game Boy. My Gen 6 or 7 game, James picked for me Puppeteer for the PS3.
Nice.
My NES or SNES game from a favorite series, it's Final Fantasy for the original NES. And my grail item is Resident Evil 2 for the 64 with the backup, with the audible pick of Nights into Dreams, specifically the big box variant.
Nice.
So if we get all 5 of those and manage to hit all of the points, we'll be at 500 points total, and then we'll be at a tie, and I don't know what we'll do.
We're gonna have five mint copies of our list.
What do we do now? But there is a bonus. So like I said,
all right,
this bonus, you have to decide. Once I finish this question or the parameters for this, you have to say yes or no right away, and then we'll move on, or we'll explain. I'll tell you what the game is.
All right.
So this is an extra pickup. If James agrees to it, we both have to get this game, or neither of us gets points. if one of us gets it, so if I was to get it and James didn't, or vice versa, the person who doesn't get it loses 25 points. So, and I will tell you...
So if only one person gets it, he doesn't get any points for it. But the person who didn't get it loses points.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is, like I said, this is a bonus. There's no... The lack of adding points is kind of like... Because it's a bonus option.
Yes.
The minus points is because if we decide to do it, one of us doesn't. It's a little bit of a penalty for not going for it. Do you want to do it or not?
I mean, I feel like...
This game could be anywhere from... I could be a $40 game. It could be a $700 game. You're taking the chance right now by saying yes or no.
Pokemon Crystal. I mean... You gotta give the people what they want. Of course, I'm gonna agree to this.
Okay,
It's
I would have been surprised if you said no.
Bring it on.
There was a chance.
It would have been wah, wah, if I say no.
Well, this is lame. I led up to that.
James is a loser.
James really sucks.
Where's your courage?
Okay, so for this pick, I went through and looked at different games from the Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance era.
Ooh, okay, I like all those
that
eras.
had two versions.
Oh.
A la Pokemon.
Okay.
But I didn't want to do Pokemon because that's obviously expensive. I wanted this to be an obtainable game.
Sure.
I looked at quite a few. There is like the Robopon games on the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
Those would have been cool. They're very Pokemon-esque, but with robots.
Sure.
Those games are like $600 a piece.
Oh my gosh.
Then there's Shaman Knight or Shaman King. It was a game based off of an anime that had a couple versions. But what I settled on was something I thought that we both would appreciate.
Okay.
And that is for the Game Boy Advance. Bomberman Max
Nice.
2 that has a blue version where you play as Bomberman and a red version where you play as Max.
Nice.
So there's the cover of the red version
That's really cool.
and then the cover of the blue version.
I'm shooting for the red one. There's only one
I was
option.
going to give you the option, but I figured you'd pick red.
It's red.
They both average around $40 to $50, so
Okay.
they're not crazy expensive.
It's obtainable.
Complete in box.
Very nice.
So, and obviously, the concept for this was kind of like, if we both get it, like it's a game that if we both have each version of, we can unlock some extra stuff. There's like some extra levels it unlocks and some other features.
Playing
and
like
play
analog
co-op.
to analog, can you play co-op or against each other? Like I wonder.
it has a versus mode, and
Okay.
then, like I said, there's unlock stuff too for
Okay.
the other versions.
Very cool. I like.
So it was I thought it was a fun concept.
Yes,
to add in here.
I like that.
And then, so not too super expensive. So you'll go for the red version.
I go for the red
I'll
version.
go for the blue version.
Naturally.
And like I said, if neither of us gets it, it's a wash. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If one of us gets it and the other doesn't, and that person who didn't get it loses 25 points.
Okay.
So
then, okay. So then, hypothetically, we both get it. There is a total for 600 points. Is that
this
right?
doesn't. There's no points added for this.
Okay.
It's more of a negative if we don't.
don't
both do
Okay,
it.
so it could be a tiebreaker hypothetically then. Okay.
In theory, yeah.
Okay. I see.
So
I like
kind of figure odds of a tie should be really hard with condition.
Yeah, with
and
condition.
everything.
The condition is the big variable that's going to swing everything.
Yeah, because like a 10
And finding it in person, because that's going to be hard. That's going to be hard for some of these games.
Yeah.
Finding it in person.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I kind of said, like towards the end of the year, if we've gone to game stores and cons and we haven't,
We're going to
seen-
feel pretty desperate if we leave. If we walk away from Portland Metro Game Con and we're like short on some of these. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So once again, I just thought this would be a fun concept. The goal here is if this goes well and we have fun with it, like maybe we could do it every year. Maybe other people could join if they're interested. Like we'd have to speed it up a little bit because I kind of thought this would be a fast episode and it still went to 3 hours.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That's it. Like in my mind, it's felt pretty quick.
Yeah, well, that's how it usually feels too.
When you're rambling.
Yeah, but
That's cool.
I thought it'd be a fun thing. So then the punishment then.
The punishment.
Because there has to be a loser.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, you know,
And
it's not personal. It's business.
Yeah, and if I think at the very basic aspect, I was thinking like between the two of us,
Yes.
the person who the person who loses takes the other one to dinner. It doesn't.
I like
It
that.
doesn't have to be something crazy. Like I'm not saying Michelin star restaurant, but maybe a sit down, maybe something basic sit down, like even Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever.
That sounds great.
So that's the basic. But then I did put to the Discord.
Yes.
I said that they had a chance here.
Yes.
That my question to them was, if James and I are in a competition where the loser had to fulfill a punishment, what would they make the punishment be? So we got a few options here.
Okay.
So Joel K, he said the punishment should be playing a game of the opponent's choice to completion. I like that one.
That's a good one.
No, I Rock Teller Suit said 900 core exceed run on Breath of the Wild. I do not like that one.
I don't think either of us like it, but
Yeah.
I think it'd be very funny and ironic if you had to play that game like in its entirety.
To be fair, if we did Joel's punishment, you could make that my
you're,
punishment.
you're right. All right.
Legendary said one of you has to eat durian.
Okay.
The loser has to eat durian.
I'm guessing that tastes nasty.
It smells terrible. It smells absolutely like butt. But it apparently tastes better than it smells.
Oh, okay.
You remember one year?
Maybe he's just trying to make us healthier.
Justin brought durian candy to an event, and the whole place smelled like crap
really?
for a while. Yeah.
That sounds like something Justin would do.
Okay. Then Vomnik piggybacked off of Joel's. The punishment should be playing a game of the opponent's choice to completion.
Yes.
Vomnik said, and if the game isn't completed in 100 days, then the loser has to buy the opponent their game of choice.
Ooh.
Or scrap all that, and the loser just has to buy the winner a game of choice.
Yeah.
I kind of like the other concept of it a little bit more. Like,
Yeah.
there should be a punishment to the punishment if you don't complete it.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Then
Okay.
there was some more talk, and they joked about a few things.
Okay.
So basically, it comes down to the Korok seed thing, which I think we both agree is out on a basic level. I think he was messing with us, and I don't want to do that. Do you want to do that?
I don't even want to do
Okay,
that.
thank you.
But I do want you to beat the game.
I beat Breath of the Wild.
Oh, okay.
I haven't beat Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. Well, maybe I would make it Tears of the Kingdom then. But anyways, yeah.
So it's basically eat durian, or just the very basic. Other than dinner, the loser buys the winner a game.
Yeah.
Or I think I like Joel's the most. The winner chooses a game for the loser to play to completion.
Yes.
And then I like Nick's piggybacking off of it.
Yes.
Adding a time limit to do it.
Yeah. So there's like extra layers of qualification here.
With the punishment if they don't, that they have to buy
Yes.
a game. Well, I mean, and if we do this, we'll put a price limit on it because it doesn't.
Yeah. Not gonna.
be
Yeah.
crazy.
Not guide Louvre prices or anything.
So what do you think? Do you kind of feel like that?
Okay, so yeah, I think the dinner thing is as on a base level has to be the base punishment.
Yeah.
And the video game thing makes sense because this is a video game competition. So the loser will play a game of the winner's choice, and then if they don't get it done in a time limit that we could, does 100 days feel like arbitrary, or are you good with that time?
He said 100. I think it should be less. I think
it should be less?
I think we can start a start date.
Like maybe
instead of
like 3
start
months.
date,
Maybe like 3 months.
But I think 3 months is probably max. Yeah, exactly. Like from January 1st to the end of March, if you don't have it finished,
yeah.
to at least a basic level. I think it should even be 2 months.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hard, dude.
No,
But
we'll say 3.
I think
We'll say
3 is
three.
like I think 100 is a little long because that's like basically 4 months.
Yeah.
I think 3 is like a sweet. Well, I just like the number 3 too.
We'll say 3
And
for a
it's-
couple reasons.
That's a
One,
whole season.
Yeah, I know, and I know that it can be especially if I don't pick a game that's accessible for Switch. If you were
Yeah.
to lose, it'd be harder for you to do it. In 2
Exactly.
months.
Yeah,
So-
like accessibility plays a factor in
So
that too.
it's a balancing for both of us there.
Yeah. I like it though.
Okay.
I think the stakes are good. They're reasonable. They will add to future content of the podcast as
Yep.
well, playing certain games.
Yeah.
People
So
will love to hear who loses and or wins.
yeah, and obviously, like we may talk about this here and there throughout the year.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
this
yeah.
isn't like
Yeah, so we're not going to have a follow-up.
until the end of December, basically.
Okay.
Or the beginning of January, even.
Yeah.
But
Maybe when we start another challenge or something.
yeah,
hypothetically.
we'll probably give an update on how the year went, and then I'll figure that out when the time comes.
Yeah.
But the end goal here is whoever loses,
Mm-hmm.
whoever gets less points overall,
Yes.
they have to take the winner to dinner.
Yes.
And
Winner
then
to
they get-
dinner.
and they get to pick a game for that person to play. And if they don't beat it within 3 months, they have to. The loser has to buy them a game. We'll just say
game of their
somewhere
choice.
like
Just a normally priced game.
yeah,
Normal price game.
No more than I guess $70 is
Yeah.
the normal.
Just
price.
like a normal retail Switch or PS5 game or something.
Yep. So it gives some weight to the challenge.
Yes. On multiple layers. I like it.
Yep. So that being said, we're kind of done here. But I think we have a fun challenge here. I'd like to hear what
excited.
people think. Like,
Yes.
were you bored listening to us talk about this? Do you think it's a cool idea? Would you be interested in joining this challenge next year?
Ooh, what if we had a 4-way video game
I mean,
chase-a-thon?
frankly, we could do it even more than that if we wanted. Like, we could make this our own little fantasy thing of sorts and have a whole group of people. But like, I understand that this obviously bodes more to collectors than it
Yes,
does.
it does.
But
You making a game out of it, making it like reality TV of a sorts, reality podcast, like it's kind of fun.
Yep. 100%. I like I said, I thought it was a fun idea, and when I presented it to you, it was via text, so I couldn't see like how you responded to it. But I was like, I hope he thinks it's a fun idea, because I'm like, I think it's early. But you could have been like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. That's lame.
You know me.
Yeah.
You challenge me to something, it's hard for me to say no to it.
Yeah, I kind of assumed you would say yes, but
Yeah.
I hope you didn't feel like you had to.
No, of course not.
it's
Well,
obvious you didn't.
here's the thing, right? Like that's the beauty of this challenge is like if we don't want to spend the money, we don't have to. But we're certainly going to give it our all and try to win this competition.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
How many points we get is completely up to how we want to spend money throughout the year.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah, and with very few exception, most of the games we picked are reasonably priced and accessible enough to where we're going to get some points at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the Grail stuff is where it gets kind of murky because you never know with Grails. But
Yep. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. Like I said, if people that listen to this, if you aren't already there, you should join the Discord. It's the best place to like talk and communicate about whatever the episodes, games and whatever else. But if you listen to this and you're local to the Seattle area, or I guess even like the Portland area, and you want to do a game hunting day, like where we go and hit up some stores, you want to go to a local con, like let us know. I the more the better. I think the cons are fun. Like game hunting is fun, and but it gets kind of lame to do it by yourself.
you know what I found out recently too? You're not going to care about this at all, but I do. Hannah found this place in Hillsboro. It's like it's a little establishment owned by apparently Japanese people who basically have tried their best to fashion a hotel into like an onsen experience, but in America. I know you don't care about this at all, but for me, it's like I can turn Portland Retro Game Con into a nice, a glamorous, pampering experience.
I've been so good to myself.
I can spread out in the waters and hold my Pokemon Red up here on high, like a
Drop it into the into the onsen.
Yes. But anyways, that's you don't necessarily have to do that. I am highly thinking about it though now that Hannah brought me.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, like
Staying for like a night or two would be kind of fun.
I like the idea of going down like Friday, hanging out in Portland or the surrounding areas, staying the night, doing the con, and then potentially going home that night or staying one more night. I like it. It all depends though. I'm going to a con to spend money.
Yeah.
It depends on how well I've budgeted.
Yeah,
around that.
It would depend on how expensive. I don't know. I honestly don't know how expensive the place is, but
yeah,
it wouldn't be like Super 8 cheap. That's for sure.
I would have assumed.
So yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. I like I said, think it was a fun thing.
I'm excited.
Fun concept. And
You're going down.
We'll see about that. But yeah, as the year goes on, if you guys have ideas for episodes, I would like to hear them. You can bring them to me whether you want to be on the episode or not. I will say I'm going to be... One thing I need to work on is focusing on episodes that really appeal to me so that I do them.
You're motivated.
And like anything video game related has some level of appeal to me, but depending on my mental state, doing the podcast is a lot harder if I'm less knowledgeable or less interested in the subject.
I feel like if it's their idea, they got to take the lead a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Like when I did the Pokemon cards
Exactly.
episode.
And in the past, I've done things I didn't know as much about, and I've tried to take the lead. And I feel like they've always, whoever the guest was, has always done their share.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying anything negative about anybody along the way.
No.
But it's just, I think going forward, I need to adjust that a little bit. And if somebody really wants to come on and talk about something that I know nothing about, they might have to take more of a lead.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm okay with that if said person is too. Because I can still lead the overall podcast.
Yeah, you can still host.
Let the conversation go. I know how to talk.
Yeah, you're very good at that.
I can talk for 3 hours apparently about stuff pretty easily because this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but less knowledgeable subjects, I can be a little less motivated to make it happen.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and conclude it here. Any final thoughts, James? Anything else you'd like to say?
But who cares?
No big deal.
I want more. Okay,
That's why we have a list. We're very greedy here, just like Ariel. We never have enough. fins? I want feet.
Yeah.
But I appreciate everybody for listening, everybody for sticking with me through what was a pretty lame X Button Gaming year overall. I'm going to do my best to do better about putting out content, both podcast, YouTube, and even staying on top of social media a little better. And try to be more active in the Discord. Sometimes I just sit back and let other people talk. But once again, I appreciate everybody sticking with me. So on that note, thank you, James. I look forward to this challenge.
It was fun.
We'll update people throughout the year as we pick things up. We'll post pictures in the Discord.
Yep.
And we'll see you here somewhere in the next month with another episode. And remember to always press X to continue.